points. We are heading into Vertigo. Celestè starting on the CT side.
Yes, they are. Interesting stuff there with Orange.Sphynx picking the T's, and it looks like they will be rushing their way up over into mid.
Very slow, deliberate play early on by Orange.Sphynx. They do have a lot of utility onto 3v and Jasminism, so opportunity to try and execute onto one of these sites, and a very cautious start to the round.
I like GFI's commitment to the color scheme, rocking the Virtus Pro skin on the pistol, committing fully to the brand. Have you seen her kicks, man? Jordan's that are bright orange. I love it. And here's the opening fire. Argent going down immediately, traded on to Afrolin. It looks like Celestè, though, do have the better of it. 4v2 situation. Iceberg's got to be careful as she's tagged up. GFI
has to do so much here on the site, buying time for the rotation, and she's managed to get at least one player down, gets the reload in, so ammo in the Glock as she starts to push up the catwalk. And Iceberg's down to 45, but her teammates are dead all around her, and she's 3v1, desperately trying to hit those headshots, not quite connecting, and there's so many targets, finally managing to get one,
pistols.
but she doesn't know.
Celestè managed to pick up the pistol round. It was a near miss, though. Iceberg almost got taken out. Oreophilly, the only one untagged, so the first buy will come in for Celestè.
So close for Orange, and that pistol round on the T side, a great way to jump out to a good start, but Celestè managing to just about hold down the B-bomb site. We'll be picking up largely SMGs, couple of FAMASs for Valenceable and Tarathiel to try and open up, and it's not a buy at all for Orange.Sphynx, of course. Without that bomb plant, no cash left in the bank, and it looks like they are going to go for a straight rush play in towards that B-bomb site.
There's a tiny bit of armor for GFI, but not a full build for sure. They will look to go with that rush up again. Last time it was pretty cool, but maybe now they're going for a little bit more. Got to be careful not to peek in there. Nades coming out, entries looking for it even more. Afrolin and Iceberg combo to spray down, but the trades are back.
Jasminism and GFI getting a frag apiece. It's getting a little bit expensive at this point for Celestè, and the peaks from 3v doing damage but taking tags as well, and she's last alive now as GFI's taken down. All too easy. Iceberg with the headshot, and you can hear Celestè getting hyped.
Yeah, they are. They know this is a great start right now. Their map, their strategies. A buy will come back in. FAMAS is still an M4A1S, and now the buy comes out for Orange.Sphynx. It looks like it will be 4 stack on the AKs and a Galil for Jasminism.
Fairly solid buy across the board for the T side. Of course, the firepower advantage is theirs. Now a little bit of a bonus round for Celestè, but not too much so, because Orange.Sphynx have been doing damage across the first couple of rounds in this half, and now expect to see something a little bit more controlled from the T side with the AKs, as again in towards the B staircase early on.
Still, though, being careful not to rush out of it in case there's a meat grinder awaiting them on the other end, and it looks like there is a double commit here on B to try and guard the way. Look at this, Tarathiel coming in to try and wrap around them, but it's still on the top floor.
And this push is really well choreographed. We've seen it 3 times out of 3 now for Orange.Sphynx as they're trying to get control of that B-bomb site. Iceberg and Afrolin with a nice crossfire. Afrolin down to 19 HP though, needs to be a little bit careful. Uses the smoke to buy herself some time and walks right to the crosshairs of Iceberg. Doesn't convert the kill, finally able to get it, but the trades are coming through, and Afrolin inside of that smoke is going to be found by Alaska. This round is all but done unless Tarathiel on the fast flank can really get a shot, but headshot removed. Oreophilia's got to save.
Orange.Sphynx were just playing with their food right there. Oreophilia tries for an exit frag, but nothing doing. GFI mows her down, and it's a 2-1.
That is much more what we expect from Vertigo. Just that T-sided aggression, getting so much map control, pushing themselves into such a good spot, and then just wiping their way through the site. Orange.Sphynx, and almost immediately, Celestè have to go back to the eco.
Yeah, they do. It was a fairly heavy investment. You talked about the round previous with a couple of the pistols, or rather a couple of the rifles being wiped away, and Orange.Sphynx finding themselves in an advantageous position. Let's see what the fan out is from Celestè right now. They actually go back to that 2-1-2 split, fairly standard, as much as you can call Vertigo standard.
And the buy for Celestè really isn't all that great. They do have the P250s, they have the 1 Deagle, but they're spread across the map. You can see Valenceable and Oreophilia trying to get aggressive down the A ramp, but it should be a fairly choreographed play, and indeed it will. Valenceable, her teammates taken down early on, trying to play behind those sandbags, but there's way too much presence for Orange.Sphynx. They're just going to plow their way through in towards that A-bomb site. Rotation is here for Tarathiel. Could look to get a little bit of damage through the gap, and she's going to time this flank perfectly. Should be able to get one, but nothing doing, of course. GFI locking it down, and now these 2 remaining pistols just got to try and do whatever damage they can find, and Iceberg will get one.
That's going to be a combo up, so they get the bomb plant down, and Afrolin's going to try to get something done, but the spray is just not fast enough. You need to nail those headshots. Iceberg is going to be the last one standing to try and get something, anything here.
A little bit of a misclick gives away a position as well, and you see GFI desperate to hunt it down, start to feel her way into this game. Currently 8-2. What a start for her as we go level at 2 apiece.
4 rounds. GFI's got 8 kills. That is something else.
That is quite something, and it's seriously impressive. Of course, if there's any player on that Orange.Sphynx side who's going to be putting up those kind of stats, it is going to be GFI.
And this is encouraging from a starting standpoint, not just because they've evened out the first 2 rounds, but because GFI, her numbers did not look nearly as great yesterday against the likes of Phoenix across all 3 rounds, or all 3 maps, I should say. And this is the start you expect from the veteran presence.
And again, we're going to see Celestè forced onto the eco. They're going to get very aggressive. This is a hallmark of their play, but GFI managing to get 2. Valinspel and Afrelin are trading out, though, so potential in the 3v3 now, and the bomb's got to make its way towards A, but Valinspel wants it.
Valinspel does, getting that Jasminism kill right there, and it's down to Argent and Alaska on those AKs. Got to start that spray down. Got to get control of this map. The bomb's yet to be planted, but there's no one sitting at A. Rotation coming through from the remaining CTs. But they have no idea where Orange.Sphynx are. They will soon enough with the bomb plant coming through.
Damage coming through for these pistols. And, I mean, Vertigo is one of those maps where there is a lot of potential to the half-buys, as Iceberg will be able to recover an AK-47 and start to clear her way up the A ramp. Bomb going to go down for Argent, but this is a little bit awkward now for Orange.Sphynx. They need to be securing these rifles against half-buys, and Afrelin on the flank could do some damage.
That she could. How far will Orange.Sphynx push? Just guarding the doorway. They know that Celestè have to come to them. Long wraparound here from Iceberg.
Awkward situation to be in as well for Orange.Sphynx as Argent spots out the first player, finding some good damage, not quite the frag, and now the support has to be there. Alaska has utility as well.
So close. They're trying to tag that one, and there's Orange.Sphynx finishing it off. They were toying with the idea of tapping the bomb, but nothing doing, and Orange.Sphynx will take the lead.
Bomb's really nicely planted for the remainder of Orange.Sphynx there as they do take the lead for the first time. T-side of Vertigo, the buy going to be coming in off the back of it. Afrelin's got herself an AWP, and it's a strong buy across the board. I'd expect
double AWPs
to see that AWP making its way across, yeah.
Let's replay the jump down there, and it was just a meat grinder. It did trade back and forth a lot, and well, that's one thing that can happen on Vertigo. You get a lot of craziness, and really good spray, though, coming out from the remaining members of Orange.Sphynx. That double op setup, let's see how well it works.
Oh, here we go. Aggressive. Valinspel looking for the opening pick, but Argent's just taken her down, and now it is down onto Ophelia on the A-bomb site. Manages to get a pick with the AWP, falls back off the angle. That's exactly what you got to do. Take a more passive hold after evening things out. And Orange.Sphynx, do they have an answer to the double orbs?
They're going to have to eliminate at least one of them, Ophelia with the equalizer onto GFI. And slow movements. The rotation towards B is happening. Celestè haven't reacted to this. They've got split presence on both sides.
Afrelin, the only player on B. She does have the AWP, but at risk of being overrun here, Tarathiel really needs to lock down this middle position. Alaska waiting for the P because the utility will come in. Afrelin gets one.
Quick shot onto Argent, and Alaska sprayed down by Tarathiel's M4A1. Scatter now from the remaining Orange.Sphynx members. The bomb not able to get up the stairs easily here. Smoke's going to be throwing some cover out here for 3v, but can Jasminism get up the ramp in time?
3v desperately trying to buy time for the site, and you can see the flank already coming in. Iceberg's done it perfectly, and it's all down to Jasminism. Really awkward spot. She hasn't managed to get anywhere near the site, and there's so much CT presence all around her. Tarathiel will get her head ripped off, so some damage at the very least as she starts to creep her way around the catwalk.
Hoping for that shoulder peek out of Iceberg. Jasminism just keeping size on, and she turns. All of a sudden, this is manageable. 1v2, but it's both ops. You need to get that bomb down.
30 seconds left as well. She's in an awkward spot. She has to stick or twist this. She spots out the first crosshair, but this is going to be really awkward. Ophelia peeks wide, hits the shot. Celestè draw back level, and most importantly, they keep both of those AWPs up.
Yeah, that's the expensive investment they'll be able to hang on to in the economy. Not great for the rest of the team, but it's enough for them to invest in a full buy. The same thing coming out for Orange.Sphynx here as they will get another 5 stack of AKs. That
extra cash that Orange.Sphynx built themselves up is going to be in good use here. They managed to get a full buy and utility to back it up. Of course, that double up setup being maintained, it's still not perfect. We're going to see the MP9 coming on to Tarathiel, so going to struggle to hold that mid position down with the SMG, but Ophelia getting aggressive early on.
Those ops are paying for themselves right now. 3v finds it out early. The CT spray coming through. Tarathiel finding another one onto Alaska.
Getting hyper aggressive with that MP9. So much information gained for that CT side. And now 5 versus 3. Orange.Sphynx are basically looking for a recovery.
That they are. Ooh, another shot, and Jasminism is out of there. It's just a shooting gallery from a distance. Ophelia, so dangerous on this op. Looking for more, finally gets turned on, but it's just Argent.
It's looking a bit like a procession now as Argent's left 4v1. Got to do some damage here. Valinspel walking into the crosshairs, gives her a frag, but the tag is there to work with, and you can see Iceberg not interested in this fight at all. Falls back, gives herself cover, and takes the round.
All right, 1 AWP still up, and they will be able to invest in more to buy if they want, and it clearly has been the strategy of Celestè to try and keep these angles covered on the CT side. They will invest in another one for Ophelia. A lot of utility coming through on everyone but Valincible, and Orange.Sphynx need an answer to stop Celestè from running away with this round.
Economy is really broken up at the moment for the T side. You saw Argent able to put $3,000 into this round. She has so much cash behind it. Other players only on like 250 to 3,000, so really struggling to get that economy in line. They do have the pistols to work with as they go fast towards A.
250, but maybe P250. A couple of deagles, in fact. Here's the rush up. It's going to be a quick move on to the A side. They should be able to at least get a plant, but the sprays start coming and they don't stop. Valincible finding a Duque. Turned around though. Finally, Tarathiel get equalized. This is a chance. Alaska, Argent all out of there. GFI, the last one standing. The bomb is out in the open.
2 versus 1. Picks up the AK-47 and she spotted out Iceberg, but the peak isn't quite there. The dink is too much. Iceberg on 13 HP surviving. It looked like it was going to go the way of Orange.Sphynx after the double 1 deags from Argent, but not quite enough.
At least this time they'll be able to invest in a buy round for sure. Not able to get a full stack of AKs, but we'll have to see what they can get done on Orange.Sphynx and have to wonder. They might be regretting just a little bit giving this map away.
It is looking a little bit awkward so far. 5 to 3 down on their T side. The Creek coming out for 3v. A strong buy across the board for the rest of the T siders. Again, looking for that aggression mid and dodging the AWP bullets. GFI bunny hopping away as now Tarathiel does get the opening pick again.
This time on the M4A1S. Got to move away there as the Molotov comes through. Rotation through mid, going to get spotted out. Tarathiel does get tagged to 52.
Really nice nade there.
Oh, that's going to be Argent sprayed down. Turn on for Tarathiel. That's going to be the turnaround kill. 3v does find one.
The man advantage still there for Celestè. The flank from Iceberg not quite working out. Jasminism down to 11 HP, and this starts to open up some opportunities towards the B bomb site, and it looks like GFI wants to exploit it. The rotation has come in from Afrelin, a little bit of map to work with, but it's going to be awkward.
Got to be careful there. They're still facing down the likes of Afrelin. On the site, they will move in. Jasminism can't afford to take a shot. GFI and 3v, a lot healthier situation for them. As the turn on, Afrelin gets one-tapped by the Krieg.
Oh, the AWP not quite able to hit the shot on the bomb. That would have been absolutely huge, but the bomb's going to go down. Jasminism on 11 HP, getting the plant, and the CT's really locked out of this site, looking for anything they can find. And, oh, so close to getting Jasminism, but not quite enough.
That angle, we've seen Celestè do that one before on the long side. It's just not enough, though. All Orange.Sphynx have to do is hang tough, but GFI gets found up by Oriophilia Scope. Jasminism 3v, take down the rest, and Orange.Sphynx pull it back.
That was exactly what they needed. Getting that round back on the board, keeping it close on their T side, going to be absolutely crucial here. This map is largely considered to be pretty heavily T-sided, so whatever rounds they can get are going to be absolutely essential. CT rounds at a premium for Celestè.
And Celestè are forced onto couple of CZs in this particular case. It's the first time we've seen them stuck in a half-buy situation.
Yeah, a little bit awkward, but I mean, we've seen what they can do with the pistols. We've seen them getting aggressive, being proactive, and finding picks. So interested to see how they look to play this as she jumps down the B stairs.
That's one way to get aggressive. I don't know if it's the most effective, but it's certainly scared the hell out of Orange.Sphynx for just a second. Argent hanging on to this one. The B side going to be a lot harder to take. It's a full investment by Celestè there, and if Orange.Sphynx read this correctly, they'll make a rush for the A site. Fully
stacked onto B. You can understand the decision given circumstances. They're just going to stack a site and hope that Orange.Sphynx walk into them. But Iceberg holding the doors, quite a tight angle as they walk in through that B doorway. So there's potential for a frag there.
Yeah, certainly the case. Taking the best position they possibly can, and seems like Orange.Sphynx want this one. The spray is there for Alaska. Iceberg doesn't matter though. They are able to turn back onto her, and 3v gets sprayed down by Afrelin in the back. Jasmine, the reload comes through, and that's the full elimination. Orange.Sphynx hold on to 3 AKs.
Not enough bullets in the CZ to find that secondary frag for Afrelin. A little bit unfortunate, but what can you do? The CZ, of course, notorious for having not enough bullets in the clip, and the IKEA gun comes out again. Orange.Sphynx will be able to get a strong full buy, and so will Celestè, actually immediately forcing back onto that double AWP setup.
Yeah, it's expensive, but that's why they waited a long time. Now, if they lose this round, they're in a real bad spot as far as money goes. But Celestè on 5-5, they feel confidence in their map play here, and it looks like there will be a push onto mid from Orange.Sphynx.
Afrelin instantly going for that deep B pick, but the T side have already made their way past that angle, so a little bit of a missed timing coming in from the CT. Celestè putting Oriophilia very aggressive towards the A bomb site as well. A lot of early CT aggression coming through, not something you normally see on Vertigo whatsoever.
Now, normal and Vertigo, definitely not two things I'd put together in the same sentence, Wolfie, but we'll have to see as we develop all across the way. This AK seemed to be the preferential play here for Orange.Sphynx, but you've got to be careful not to get caught in the sights of the double ops. Looking at Oriophilia, looking at Afrelin. There's only one here on this B side. They'll be moving forward. Argent starts the spray. Entry frag onto Iceberg. And she'll be able to find Tarathiel, who didn't see her coming. An efficient trade. As Argent does get dropped by Afrelin on the op, this is a chance to plant the bomb.
4 versus 3, really going to be difficult for the CT side to get in. Good damage done onto Alaska, but still going to really struggle to find any information. You can see GFI in between the generators is buying so much time for her team as the flank from 3V is already starting to come into fruition. So
spray one.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all you need, really, at this point. I think if you're Oriophilia, you got to think about saving. You have no money left in the tank. She did manage to get 3V on the peak there, but that's about as good as you can hope for.
She's instantly backing off towards the A-bomb site. They've lost one of those AWPs already. Losing the second would be catastrophic, and GFI knows it. Starting to hunt down. Missed shot from Oriophilia. We'll gift her a little bit more map to work with.
This is another risk. And it's enough. Orange.Sphynx with a full elimination. That ought to force Celestè onto an eco round.
You can see GFI was clearly aware of how much economic issue and how much investment was made, as we do see first pause of the game coming in.
Flashes of day one for Celestè you have to think are happening right now as they are discussing what's going on. Our plan starting to fall to pieces here as we're losing out on rounds.
You can see they're really animated in their discussion as well. Clearly think they got a lot to talk about. Still have plenty of strats left in the book. We saw them coming out across day one, so there's potential to fall back here.
It does seem like so far all we've really seen out of Celestè is a double op trying to hold on the B site because they know Orange.Sphynx will look to come up the stairs and they can get caught in the crossfire there. But if Orange.Sphynx can break into it, which we've seen them do a number of times now, the backup plan just seems to be try to hold from the edge, and it's just not enough.
Yeah, they're really struggling in the afterplant scenarios on the B-bomb site, and it is so difficult on Vertigo. It's just not a map that lends itself to retakes whatsoever, and you can see Orange.Sphynx know that. They know once they've broken into the site, it's all done, as this time, Celestè, they're going to be stacking towards mid, a couple of upgraded pistols, but nothing significant.
With the bargain bin, all they got to do here is hope that they can take away a few of these AKs. Meanwhile, the Orange.Sphynx economy continues to build itself. Good spread out downstairs here. We can see patience on Orange.Sphynx. They're hoping that Celestè will jump right into their waiting arms.
And they just need that one moment, that one advantage to work with. We've seen what they can do with these 4 spies with the pistols in their hands, and you can see Orange.Sphynx respect it as Alaska's down to 16. Does manage to find the opening pick, however. And the man advantage could be all Orange.Sphynx need.
The tag is huge, but yeah, if Celestè want a real chance at this one, they need to mow down a couple and manage to salvage some AKs for themselves, start to turn those things around. But look at Orange.Sphynx. They're collapsing in together. 3v, the only one far out and away. And it looks like the push will come up into B once again up the stairs. And Celestè have been faked out. They're moving to A site.
Really nice read across the board from Orange.Sphynx. They work out the positioning, they work out the play, and then they just make it happen instantly into that B bomb site. This is going to be a free plant, and the pistol's just looking for after round damage in this scenario.
I think you can just hold the site here, but Argent feeling very confident she can step forward to try and get this hunt going.
Getting a little bit of aim going, always good at the start of these games. Start to get the feel for it. As you can see, Celestè, they've really got no entry into this B bomb site whatsoever. There's nothing they can do. They're stuck in middle. This pistol buy has just gone to pot, and they'll be looking to buy into the next one, of course, as Oriophilia actually manages to get one, so take back all I've said. There's an AK recoverable, and Orange.Sphynx don't want to give up any more than that.
No, they don't. I think Orange.Sphynx will move back once again to the B site just to make sure there's no retake possible. Tarathiel actually coming up very close. There's going to be Jasminism. GFI trades back onto her. Celestè determined to make this a bit more expensive.
Valenciable definitely going to die to the bomb. A little bit unfortunate. You could see that second
smile
AK.
on her face, though. She was pretty happy with the damage she'd done. At least an AK salvaged. Celestè will lose out another round, but it is 5-7. If they can pick up a few more heading into the half and try to pull even, there's a chance on the CT side.
I think if they pick up 1 or 2 more, they should feel really confident about that CT side of Vertigo. It is an incredibly T-sided map, and it does play out like that almost all of the time. This time, Celestè only able to get the single AWP out, not seeing Afrelin picking up secondary duties.
No, it's expensive. You can't afford to commit to it consistently if you're still losing out on those, and I think it makes sense to try and hedge your bets a little bit. Double op, it's fun, it's flashy, but you don't always need it. Oriophilia on that scope, trying to get into the A side, and this actually read well from Orange.Sphynx. She misses the opening frag, though.
And this puts Valenciable in a little bit of an awkward position. The AWPers had to fall back into hell, and there's opportunity. 3V actually taking a good burn down to 44, but Alaska in the right position at the right time does get taken down. Tarathiel's rotated in, and I don't think GFI has any idea about this close position. She doesn't.
No clue. Jasminism and Argent are the only ones left standing. The spray is true, but not quite enough. Argent will fall, and Jasminism all of a sudden is in a lot of trouble. She does manage to take down Oriophilia 1v3. This would be really difficult, but she's clutching it down to 12 HP.
1 versus 2. Iceberg is playing that wooden position like a stalwart, though. Absolutely still as a statue, like nothing she's going to push.
She can't afford to peek.
They know. They've got a 2 versus 1. They know she's low HP. They're just going to wait.
Take the time. That's all you need. It's all going to be on the peak. There it is. And Celeste take round 6 for themselves.
I mean, if you're Celeste, I think you're feeling pretty confident about this CT side on Vertigo. It's been really strong considering the balance of this map, and Orange.Sphynx, they've only managed to get 7 rounds going. There is potential here for Celeste to start stealing something away here on
Celeste
Vertigo.
might even get a lead on the half. That's the possibility here as we have 2 more rounds left to go in it. Buy comes through. It's going to be a bit of a force. There's a couple of 8Ks salvaged, a UMP.
CT side still really struggling to get that economy into an established position. They will manage to get the buyout, but it is the UMPs, the utility somewhat limited across the board. And T side of Vertigo, there's always good cash. Alaska goes down to 40, and Tarathiel again finding the opening picks.
This is looking good for Celeste right now. They have the chance here, and the Molotov comes down behind Sandbags. Tarathiel's having to move away. But what can they do? It's 3v5.
This is really awkward for Orange.Sphynx. Their aggression towards mid worked out really well. Last time we saw them on Vertigo, this time really well held down by Celeste. They're locking out that middle area of the map, forcing them into the sites, and then forcing them into their crossfires. You can see Afrelin and Iceberg here. They've got it set up.
Oh, Argent peeks around, does the double take before she's taken out, and it's on to GFI and Jasmine to save the day. They do manage to find a fire back onto Iceberg in the smoke. They'll need to get this plant. They've got a minute to work with, so they can take their time.
And if you back anyone here, it is GFI trying to play around the edges of these smokes. The bomb is on the back of Jasminism, peeking everything they possibly can, but GFI has no idea Afrelin's so aggressive. This is all too easy. The gun's been spotted out. Jasminism somehow saves her teammate, gets a second, makes it viable. 2 versus 2 now.
This is a chance. There's tags to work with, but Oreophilia only on that UMP. No more off threat. Valincible turns, gets turned on. This is the chance for Orange.Sphynx to take map 8. Round 8, I should say.
2 versus 1. Oreophilia on the UMP. They have no idea where she is, and that might be her saving grace here. Jasminism spotted out, playing that trigger control. She will get the first. GFI has to recover the bomb. 28 seconds left. This is all about how Oreophilia plays it. GFI still in towards the generators.
These are the 2 aces for the team right now. If there's anybody you want alive on either side, these are the ones. Can they get it done? AKs on both. GFI tagged to 40. She needs to find Oreophilia first. And it looks like the peak's there, but the turnaround, Celeste pull even.
What a shot from Oreophilia, flicking to the head almost instantly and drawing things level here. They're on the CT side of Vertigo. This has got to be a confidence booster.
It absolutely is, and look what's happening. You've got hardly any money to work with as Orange.Sphynx. They've lost all their AKs on this side. And are you really going to go to the 15th round on a half buy?
Not
They're going to force it out
at all. They have to force, of course. So it's going to be the Deagles. There's a couple of AKs and a Galil to work with, but really needing to find some picks here, Orange.Sphynx. And it's been a really well-managed half by Celestes. Again, we're going to see a little bit of aggression, some nades coming in early on towards the staircase and getting good Molotov damage.
Seeing the power of Celeste on Vertigo. This is their map. They're the only team that seems to like it, but they certainly know how to play it here. Holding out, stopping the aggression from Orange.Sphynx. It will be put out. 1 Molotov, a second comes in its place. The bomb actually left near spawn. So Orange.Sphynx are really trying for the slow breach in onto B side. It's really been all about B this round.
So much presence here for Celestè. They've got 3 players in towards this B bomb site. They've got 3 rifles here to work with. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Orange.Sphynx to really get anything done, especially with the Deagles at this sort of range.
It's a bit of a standoff right now. Nobody wants to peek first.
Everybody just sitting, waiting for the moment, the right time to strike for Orange.Sphynx and the right time to shut it down for Celestes. Now it looks like the push is going to start to come to a 4.
You got to start using that utility again. Alaska, if she checks out, Iceberg has the scopes up right in the perfect spot on that crosshair. Smokes up. And Orange.Sphynx are hesitant. They don't want to commit to this. Flashes out. Molotov as well. It will get put out immediately on the smoke. But the play, the commitment, is towards B. Everybody's here.
And nobody's moving. Everybody's waiting for someone else to find that opening pick. And this is a really awkward situation. Oh.
She sees Valincible. She knows. Oh, that jiggle peek.
30 seconds. There's still 3 CT players here. Nobody's cleared sight.
You've got to make moves fast. The spray down. It's going to get turned around. Orange.Sphynx, they have the advantage for just a moment. The execution's heavy. It's 2v4 for the CTs. And a plant comes down at what is close to the last second possible. Valincible spray down, and Oreophilia still in this.
Switches to the M4A4, 3 versus 1 here. She's going to try and make her way through middle, just faking that she's going to go through the boost spot, but now the spam gives it away. Goes for the cold jump, makes it happen, but 3v shuts her down. Orange.Sphynx will go in with the narrowest of leads at the half, 8-7.
Fallen from such dizzying heights there. Orange.Sphynx just barely hanging on to the lead at halftime. And you have to think it's a little disappointing perhaps for Celeste, but they've kept it oh so close. And if this is a T-sided map, they know they've got a chance to turn this one in their favor.
There's a lot of potential here for Celestè to cause an upset in map 1 of this series. Of course, the winners making their way through to the grand final later on tonight. Well, the second final we've seen today is just watching some of the highlights reel from this first map. Vertigo is one of those maps that produces a lot of highlights.
Yeah, for real. Jasmine is a man, that was some great playing, but Oriofilia, it was just a bit better, and of course, that was brilliant.
This flank was also important as well. Argent buying so much time for a team. I mean, it's just a highlight reel, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Switching the guns, so much rapid context. You can tell Celestè really, really practiced this map. They know exactly the angles they want to peek from. They know exactly what guns they want to use where. We are back into it, switching sides of the half. Celestè back on the T side, and GFI starts by opening onto Iceberg.
Trade is almost instantaneous, though. They've got mid-control, and they're splitting in towards this A bomb site here. Awkward situation. 3v holding firm, though, and now GFI no idea where the player is. That's the takedown, and Oriofilia equalizing things. 3 versus 2 now. 3v in an awful position, trying to get out of there, trying to hit the shots, but too many T-sided players in her crosshairs.
Good stutter step there for Tarathiel, looking to try and hunt her down. This is not going to be easy for 3v, and Jasmineism make that just Jasmineism. 1v3 with that USP.
Things looking set to draw level here unless Jasmineism pulls off something truly incredible. Starting to make her way up the ramp. She's creeping it up, but she does have the defuse kit on her back, so can afford to waste a little bit of time trying to be silent. You can see Afrelin is playing this so intelligently. She's just going to hide behind those sandbags.
Yeah, there's not much you can do in this point. There's so many different T's to cover, so many places you can be. The open spray onto Oriofilia. She will find it, but the turnaround, it was just a bait. Afrelin finishes it off, and we pull within 8-8.
And this is exactly how Celestè would have wanted to start things off. So far, they've won both pistol rounds, and that can be absolutely huge in these tight games. We saw how close Vertigo could be when they met on day 1, and could it be even closer here?
I think it is closer right now. Last time around, I don't recall Celestè winning all those pistol rounds as confidently or as much. And Orange.Sphynx, they've let this through. They floated this map. They knew the risks, but they chose to take it. And now Celestè have a real chance at taking a game 1 away from them.
Going for the stack on the B-bomb site, just looking to put all their eggs in one basket here. A couple of upgraded pistols across that CT side for Orange, but wisely enough, Celestè going to be playing a very slow round, just trying to bait out any kind of information they can get from the CT side before choosing which side to commit. The bomb left happily back in spawn as everybody just takes stock.
I've not heard it described that way. Happily left in spawn. The bomb's just chilling. He doesn't need a babysitter. Oh, boy. Celestè, where will they commit to this one? They've already established control on A, and they'll have to know that the commitment from Orange.Sphynx is going to be all towards B at the moment. So they're actually going to look to go up here, but this is not the numbers they were hoping for. They just have the guns to work with. Afrelin gets tagged, so does Oriofilia. But GFI and Alaska going low, going down. It's Argent. And that's going to be GFI turning back on 1 to Oriofilia. Do they have the chance? They're running out of T's and CTs on either side. GFI and Jasmineism with some salvaged weapons, an AK and a UMP to hold this B site, but Celestè can just plant at A.
They've got a free bomb plant here, and you can see the CT side. They are aware of it. They're trying to push through, but at this scenario, do you just accept it and save the rifles? You have an AK, you have a UMP. That starts to shore up your buy into the next round.
I think you absolutely do at this point. You don't want a chance for Celestè to start to wipe your economy out when you are already on an even round. Let them have one more. Nobody's broken double digits just yet. Just hiding in bathrooms. Yeah, why not? Do not disturb.
First time we've seen these on a map since Cobblestone. It's always nice to see someone using them to good effect, as GFI is going to stay on 8 HP. Should be left relatively alone to recover that AK-47 as well.
Yeah, decent bit of time as the bomb starts to tick away. So Celestè didn't have too much damage dealt to themselves either, so the economy does start to get going for both teams in this particular situation. And yeah, they will move off the bomb, realizing Orange.Sphynx aren't going to go in for anything sneaky like a Ninja Defuse. And that will be the 9th round for Celestè.
I mean, an AK in this scenario is a really nice pickup for the CT side. Of course, it really helps to build that economy. You don't have to buy the rifle onto GFI. She can pick up extra utility. She can pick up extra nades, a little bit more armor, even picks up the defuse kit as well. So the money you would normally spend on a gun just gets spent on everything else.
Yeah, and we are seeing the evolution in how the teams at this tournament have decided to spend their money, especially when confronted with a strange map like Vertigo. We used to see a lot of AUGs here on day 1, and now it has been completely obliterated in favor of the M4s.
Yeah, players seeming that the AUG is not such a meta anymore. It's just whatever gun you prefer. As the fast push into A is coming through. The spray is good for 1 for 3v, but the trade is almost instantaneous, and it's only one of the UMPs they've dropped for the T side. A-bomb's like completely open. This is a retake for Orange.
Yeah, it's going to have to be right now. 4v4 situation here. As Tarathiel moves around the side, gets head tapped immediately by Alaska. That's an advantageous position for Orange.Sphynx. And the bomb hasn't been planted yet.
Saving her teammate's life there, Alaska. GFI had a nade out, and it was also important that that kill came through. Otherwise, it was looking like it was a set double for Celestè. Securing it means it's 3 versus 4. There's still 2 UMPs for this T side, and they haven't even got the bomb down yet. They have plenty of time, but on Vertigo, time is not what you need.
No, it is not. And Orange.Sphynx determined to retake control. There is the plant inside of the smoke, trying to take that shot behind the tarp. Jasminism dropping down. Argent, they're just waiting for this one to clear as the rest of the CTs come through. It's going to be all about that execution. Here comes the Molotov. And the smoke about to clear away behind concrete slabs.
Is huge.
This is going to be a big one behind the tarp. Can they get the shots? Not even seen. Afrelin lit up, and so is Valenceable before she can do a thing. Easy defuse for Orange.Sphynx.
Flawless retake, and what more can you ask for? The flank from Jasminism was absolutely key there, just getting damage from the wrong side.
If you're an expert on this map, and there aren't many who say they are, you've got to watch that tarp flank.
All too simple to pull off, and Orange.Sphynx once again draw level. I mean, this map is going far, far closer than I expected it to. There's still cash available for Celestè. They're still going to get another buyout, and they do have 4 AKs.
It's the name of the game today. Really close Counter-Strike, 9-9. Who will be the first to break the double digits? AKs on 4, as you mentioned, for Celestè, and a much healthier buy now for Orange.Sphynx as they've managed to hold on to quite a lot of guns.
An absolutely ideal situation, and they've even managed to save themselves 3 AK-47, so the cash is going to start to build for this CT side, and of course, AK at range, a little bit better than the M4, so a little bit of an advantage now for Orange.Sphynx as we head into this round, and a very passive start from Celestè.
Good split out here for Orange.Sphynx, the 2-1-2, trying to cover all the sites they possibly can. The most advanced position in that middle right now in favor of Argent, just to see if there's any fast rotation in by Celestè, who are taking their time.
Just waiting. They're trying to catch out any aggression from Orange.Sphynx, any misfired angles, but of course, this is a very well-drilled side, and they're not falling for any of it, just holding their own on the sites. The smokes and the nades will come out for Celestè.
That's a lot of utility
damage, and that HE will do some work as well. 3v down to 56.
Turn around. Jasminism taking a little bit of damage too. Iceberg peeks up, doesn't see anybody. Waiting for that peek from 3v, didn't see her coming, and that was too easy.
And now they can hit the A bomb site as well, Celestè. They tried to go towards B, but the bomb is instantly hightailing it to A, and the CTs have rotated off of that A bomb site, looking to play a retake yet again, Orange.Sphynx.
Celestè not afraid to sacrifice a player or two if it means they can get that guaranteed bomb plant, but the retake, it was great for Orange.Sphynx last time. They're all going to be making tracks here. It looks like this could be a little rough. They are guarding one way, however, they should realize the other way is what they need to do. Valenceable taken out by Argent already. Really
nice use of the drop down. Afrelin's got it covered though, so it's basically a 3 versus 3 now. That CT player shouldn't be able to get anything done. Argent has no idea on the positioning, a little bit of an off angle. Makes it 3 versus 3. Not much utility left for the CT side. Gonna have to start hitting some shots, and they will do through Alaska and Jasminism. It's just down to Iceberg right now to try and hold on to this one. Jasminism does have the defuse kit. Iceberg trying to spray, and just a turnaround was all Alaska needed. 10 rounds for Orange.Sphynx. Iceberg, that is unfortunate. Up close and personal, not quite able to connect with the shot, and this is where Orange.Sphynx can start to look at accelerating away, and I find it ridiculous to say that on the CT side of Vertigo, but it is what it is, and Celestè, they're only going to be able to pick up pistols. The full buy very, very strong for Orange.Sphynx. Well, this tournament has been anything but typical, that's for sure, Wolfie. 10-19, a very close round on Vertigo, all the same, but Orange.Sphynx showing why they floated this map. They feel like they can still tangle with the likes of Celestè. Getting aggressive towards middle here, Argent. That's a risky call against the pistols, opening yourself up to a little bit of a crossfire as Ophelia alone towards that B bomb site, just looking for information. Argent getting a little bit of damage through the smoke, but has got to be cautious. Yeah, Valenceable tagged to 61 at the moment. Argent, that smoke clears. It could be a shooting gallery in there, but she doesn't know that just yet. Backing away, that's the safe play for now. Bomb has been stalled out for a second. Ophelia is burning down, so is Iceberg. That was the wall bang for GFI. And that is ideal. Nice entry to start things off for Orange.Sphynx. No risk in the wallbang, of course, so as these pistols start to take a little bit of map control away, going towards mid, you can see Argent's fallen off, and these P250s, they have to find something for Celestè. And grouping up through mid here. Oh, and already losing a few more. Valenceable drop down. It's just Ophelia and Afrelin. This is looking really like a lost round, and it might even be a flawless one for Orange. Not much more that Celestè can do, and you can see Orange.Sphynx, they haven't fallen for this. They haven't rotated away. They know it's only against the pistols. There's still plenty of firepower towards this B-bomb site, and Alaska just going to be cleaning up house here. All too simple. Just down to Afrelin to try and make a play. She tags out, and the spray is true. 5-0.
Orange.Sphynx taking 11th round to the Nine of
Simple
Celeste.
CS done right, as we do see the next pause coming in. A 2-round lead at the moment for Orange, just 5 rounds away from taking this first map, and it's such a quick map, Vertigo.
It has been. It's so crazy to think we've had 20 rounds already played in this one, and there is the timeout called by Celeste. They're going to try to arrest that momentum and pull back some control for themselves. They don't want to let this happen twice on their map.
They need to start queuing up rounds on the T side here. It is a map that favors those Ts, but Celeste, they've been struggling to get started. They've been struggling to really find their feet, find their momentum in this matchup, and you do worry for them if it goes to Dust 2. We saw how that goes for Celeste against Orange.Sphynx on day 1, and it was not fun.
It was not fun at all, and we've seen a pattern emerge when we've watched Celeste. It has only been 2-0s or 0-2s. They've been able to stack them, but unfortunately there does seem to be a clear divide between them and some of the other top teams at this tournament. However, the buy scenario comes in. It's a full AK stack now for Celeste. They've decided not to invest in the AWP this time around, and let's see where the play goes. There's fire on the stairs, so it's not going to be easy for them to breach into the B site. It's been far the more popular of the two on either side.
It has. A little bit unusual as Tarathiel will get the opening pick through the edge of the smoke. Argent taken down. Is that the start that Orange.Sphynx need here?
It might just be. There's a split here, 2 in mid and 2 waiting on the stairs. They might be able to draw Orange.Sphynx away from this site, thinking that the A play is what's going to happen, but the bomb has been left alone. That's another pickup onto 3v, though. And this starts to look difficult.
This is where Celeste can really look to stretch their lead here. 5 versus 3. They can take these players down without too much consequence. With the utility, they're going to be executing in towards that B bomb site. The smoke dropped down, and it buys so much time. The nades not quite doing enough for Orange.Sphynx, and GFI has to go huge here.
Sprays it right through the crates. That's going to be at least one. Oriophilia taken out too, but there's a lot of heavy tags happening. GFI, Alaska, both down. Jasminism is not 100% healthy as well. Valenceable down to 6, but she eliminates most of the competition. It's all onto GFI to try and clutch this with 11 HP.
The issue for GFI here is there's a flank, and they're just going to make their way straight off of this bomb site. GFI in such an awkward position to try and hold this one down.
She sees the edge of the AK, though, and she knows it's going to be a movement back here. Oh, on the knife, can't switch in time, and Iceberg finishes her off. That's a 10th round for Celeste.
That's exactly how they would have wanted to get into double digits, just out-aiming Orange.Sphynx across the board. A really nice set of rounds from Celeste there, just getting the opening picks across the map. You can't ask more of your T side on Vertigo.
No, you cannot. Celeste determined to keep this one close. They may not take it, but they certainly will not give it away to Orange.Sphynx. This is looking like a very close first game on Vertigo.
We'll see GFI picking up the AUG. First time on this map for the CT side to see that coming out, as Tarathiel held off by the early Molotovs. The aggression from the T side is being arrested nicely by Orange.Sphynx, using that utility to just lock them out.
Don't want to give away any openers here. Tarp movement from Iceberg at the moment, trying to get the wall bang herself, not finding the damage, and she doesn't realize how close she was to GFI. Does get tagged.
3v, very aggressive on the opening pick. Takes down Oriophilia, and that is the ideal start for Orange.Sphynx. You get into these 5v4 situations on Vertigo, more often than not, the CTs are converting them, as Tarathiel walking right into the crosshairs here.
And that's going to be an easy light up there. Tarathiel taken down quickly. Valenceable soon to follow in her wake, and Argent doesn't even get tagged. And the bomb left at home. Only Iceberg left. Try and do something, anything for it, and Orange.Sphynx take a flawless round.
That is not good. Celeste in the previous, they're finding opening picks everywhere, and this time they're the team getting picked off. Just simple counter-strike from Orange.Sphynx, playing it all too efficiently.
Back and forth. Celeste definitely relying on getting some of those peaks when Orange.Sphynx go forward, try to get that defense aggressively. It's now forced out. A force buy. Looks like a MAC-10 coming in for Tarathiel.
And there's not a lot of cash again. That T side, they're just being broken so consistently. It's making it incredibly difficult to build any kind of an economy for Celeste, as Argent is going to go for the early Molotov, running through it. Tarathiel on the MAC-10 will be able to get the damage, and Valenceable converts, but there's such a heavy tag. It's looking good again for Orange.Sphynx.
Yeah, Argent really the front line there. GFI does get dropped to Valenceable. There's a chance to really even this one out right now, but you've got to be careful. The spray was there. Another tag onto 3v, but not enough to eliminate her, and it's down to Oriophilia and Iceberg making their way onto A.
They should be able to get this A bomb site without too many issues. They know that 3v's low HP. You can see Oriophilia trying to hunt her down with the MAC-10, putting her in a really awkward spot. No support for Orange.Sphynx at the moment. The fast peek from Alaska just about trades it down. It's all onto Iceberg. 1 versus 2. So much to do here, trying to hunt down that first player. The flank is very, very slow from Jasminism, so Alaska, an isolated figure, will be an easy enough find. 1 versus 1, and does Iceberg read this?
On to Jasminism. If she can get that plant, you can see already Jasminism looking to make her way up onto the A site, utilizing wire at the top there. Slow wraparound. If the plant goes down, the information's given, but it's not going to even be happening. Orange.Sphynx Clutching out the round there, 13-10 is the score. This is the biggest deficit we've seen for Celeste.
And the economy is fully broken for Celeste as well, as we will see the pause time coming in. Look how much cash Orange.Sphynx have. They are fully built up in this round. They are ready to go.
Celeste need a hell of a round to try and stop this momentum. The last time they paused, they did manage to do just that, but it wasn't a full eco situation. If that's what happens with Celeste here, they're going to have to hope against all odds that they can rush a point, get a plant, wipe them out with numbers.
Their only perk is that T side. You can group with the pistols. You can isolate 5v1s. Just overwhelm players with your numbers. That is the chance for Celeste right now, and they really need to find some frags in a really awkward position. This is their map pick. They're 13-10 down. It's looking like a repeat of day one. They want to try and change the story right now.
That story, the last chapter, not yet written here for Celeste. But they will have to overcome Orange.Sphynx, overcome the odds to get this map won. Start their way on the journey to victory. And it looks like the play all up the stairs. Will they be rushing towards the mid? It looks like it. Just opening. Valenspil getting tagged quickly, and the rest of Orange.Sphynx are alerted to this one. They wisely back away. Frags coming out in the scope of the AUG. Argent finding one, looking for two, looking for everybody. Argent and GFI combo up to wipe the team.
That is exactly how you get yourself hyped up. Look at GFI in the player cam. She is feeling it today, and what a series of rounds from them.
She breaks into the 20-plus kill score. Argent has 26 in her pocket. The rest of the team having respectable numbers across the board, and Orange.Sphynx looking to drive this one home. They need 2 more rounds to take map 1 and take the map away from Celeste.
And they're just doing simple things right. Again, really efficient crossfire from the CT side, locking down that mid area. And Oriophilia, she's got the AWP, but she needs to start doing some damage with it.
Argent backing up with the AUG scope. Bomb has been dropped down. Split attention for Celeste here. Just hunting to see if they can find anyone, get those numbers. But they're taking their time. This benefits Orange.Sphynx. The chaos is what's been sinking them.
They have to try and find an opening pick. That's the issue. Oriophilia going to start to make her way up. That smoke obscures her up towards the mid boost, so a little bit of room to move for Celeste, but they need to find an opening pick. They need to start unlocking this map, and they're finding it incredibly difficult to do so.
Shizm teammate up there, just yet to actually get that boost going. Molotov all over the crates here on B site. The rest of the team coming up, but they don't have the bomb. This is all about a power play here. Valenspil taking some early damage on entry. Tarathiel, if she peeks right in the scopes of Alaska, it looks like Afrolin is going to be the one. It's traded back by Tarathiel, but the information's given. Jasmine is going to fall. 3v, the only one standing now. This is a chance for Celeste.
And this is exactly how Celeste needed to pull that round off. Just explosion onto the B bomb site at 3v. 4 versus 1. There are tags to work with, but she doesn't know, and she's just got to back off. There's nothing more for her to do in this round. Try and keep her hands on the M4A4. An exit frag, of course, would be ideal, but the rifle is more important at this point.
Orange.Sphynx have money, but maybe not as much to be comfortable at this point. They do have the rounds to work with, so they can afford to sacrifice that one right there. It will be Celeste picking up number 11, but Orange.Sphynx, they're still within the grasp. 3 would be all they need to close it out here.
2 rounds away from stealing Celeste's map pick for a second time. Twice we've seen Celeste go to Vertigo. They need to find success on it at least once. They need to assert that this is their map pick, this is their choice, and they're good on it.
This looks closer than we've had before, though. So with Celeste taking 11, this is going to give some pause to Orange.Sphynx. Maybe it was a mistake to start to give this map over instead of focusing on Nuke for the first ban. Buy will come through here. Celeste can afford to invest in just about everything, but Oriophilia,
she'll have the AWP. It's on the ground.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I was about to say, she didn't die last round, I don't think. And on the opposite side, it is going to be another full buy coming out for Orange.Sphynx.
They're just dipping into the bank here, getting every last rifle they can afford. One last attempt to get this one through to match point as Oriophilia again on the early peak with the AWP, not spotting out too much of anything. It has been a nice passive hold from Orange.Sphynx. Haven't seen any of that CT aggression like we saw from Celeste, playing Vertigo in a much more standard format.
Yes, indeed, Celeste. Seems like the play. Leave bomb around middle, see if you can find a couple of hunts, and then just move and flow onto the site whenever you get the opportunity. Iceberg once again playing behind the tarp. Not going to find anybody here. The A site conspicuously empty at that angle. Wallbang possible if she knows GFI is there. It looks like it might be a Molotov, Joe. Throws it a little bit too far angled. That gives away the information now.
Good use of the molly from 3v as well, buying time for the rotation if they look to use it. 3v spots out a lot of presence as well for the CT side, so they should be allowed to get the rotations in here as Celestè. They're trying to push around the edge of the smoke. 3v looking to play it, looking to GFI to support.
Iceberg steps out. The spray was that much faster, though. It's instantly traded onto Tarathiel, but GFI and 3v, that means the deficit in favor of Celestè now.
This is looking a little bit awkward now for Orange.Sphynx. You can see Argent is desperate to get in towards this side, but she's not aware that mid is completely clear. So many angles to check for the CT side. And as Oriophilia takes down Argent, this is looking very, very rough. Iceberg cleaning up house. Celestè looking set for a 12th here. And Jasminism, again, 12 HP. That's a rifle save.
Celestè are cheering there from the stage at the moment. Another rifle save situation for Orange.Sphynx. It was fine when you had a 4 advantage, but now it's going to go down just to 2. Utilizing those bathrooms again just to make sure she doesn't get hunted down. But this is going to be it. Celestè pulling within 2 rounds of Orange.Sphynx.
And they don't have a lot of loss bonus either, Orange.Sphynx. They are not in a good position here.
They've been buying every round. This is going to be rough. They're going to be forced into a half-buy situation.
They are not having fun. Their economy is not feeling good.
This might not be enough. Exit frag looking for 1. It is a trade. The pistol is not saved, or rather the rifle.
That's awkward. Jasminism, she does get a little bit of damage through, but of course at this point, this close to the end, Celestè, their economy is okay. They've got a full buy on the cards, and it's not the same story at all for Orange.Sphynx. Just 2 rounds away from taking map 1, but they're going to be down onto the half buy. They've got the pistols out once again.
Yeah, this is the turnaround Celestè were hoping for, and it all started with that pause. After the pistols, they were able to pick it right back up, and another AWP into the hands of Oriophilia. Here's the spread out. It looks like we're going to get a 2-3 split. Actually, everyone going up through mid, but a fast rotate from Afrelin and Iceberg. Once more, spread out by Orange.Sphynx.
Just looking for those picks with the pistols. We've seen what Orange.Sphynx are capable of in this sort of scenario. Iceberg just starting to peek up towards the sandbags. Got to be careful not to walk into the crosshairs of GFI.
It's a more passive
presence.
Defense.
It's really passive. I mean, Orange.Sphynx, they are just waiting for the walk in here.
Well, yet again, Iceberg really showing a proficiency by utilizing the back tarp here to see if she can get that peek out. Molotov does go up. That will alert Orange.Sphynx to the presence of players, but this is a fake. They're looking for the plant onto B.
And there's still plenty of CT presence from Orange.Sphynx in towards this B bomb site. The shot not there from Argent. A missed kill and a missed opportunity perhaps as now the pincer starts to come in. Alaska in a really awkward spot, but Tarathiel's just cleaning house here.
Right down.
Nothing they can do.
Not taken out, though. That's the critical thing. You need to remove these rifles from the equation right now. And meanwhile, GFI heavily tagged down. 3v eliminated. Just down to GFI. Manages to pick herself up an AK, but up against 4 members here. That peak, it's not going to be the right angle. Celestè pulling within 1.
They equal their best record on Vertigo as well. They've got their 13, and now they're going to look to accelerate through it. The buy will be coming in for Orange.Sphynx. They will be able to get the rifles out, but they need to start getting rounds.
M4A4s across the board. They do have some utility to invest in, but that's going to put a heavy dent in their economy. They need to win this one. If they lose it, Celestè pull within 2 maps of taking it themselves. That's not going to look great.
And this is where Oriophilia on the AWP has to go huge. She needs to find the advantage for her team. The picks have been coming through for Celestè. If they can get a couple more, it would be ideal as the bomb's making its way down the A ramp early on. A little bit of presence in towards mid. They're looking to split this A bomb site.
So far, Orange.Sphynx do show a preference. Towards the mid, Valincible opened up on by Argent, sprayed down on her M4.
Just the start that Orange.Sphynx would have needed here, and the presence is starting to make its way towards A, but there's heavy resistance from the CT side. Looking to lock this out as the bomb's making its way up.
Another smoke's going to come through here. GFI trying to guard the angles. Not to be oh so careful. Celestè feeling confident in their Vertigo play, and that's why taking down 3v with Equalizer. Turned around, GFI manages to grab Tarathiel, but the op is still a threat.
And that's why you can see Orange.Sphynx so conscious of their peaks. They have utility, but they can't get onto the site with Oriophilia holding the ramp. Now the bomb's going to go down. 3 versus 4. The retake's always difficult on the CT side of Vertigo. Can Orange.Sphynx pull this off?
Pre-fire through the smoke here, and the shot! Oriophilia finding 1, the trade back. Argent is going to get eliminated, and that is going to be Alaska taking down Celestè. They've tied it up.
14 apiece, and Celestè looking to make it happen here on Vertigo. What can you say?
Force buy, that's about all you can say at this point. The pause comes in for Orange.Sphynx here. Celestè, exuberance, you can hear them cheering it up.
And can you blame them? What a performance so far on Vertigo from the T side. They are just stringing rounds together, and Orange.Sphynx, they just look despondent.
They knew they had the advantage. They let a 14-10 lead slip from their grasp, and all of a sudden, Their economy's not healthy. Their buys aren't going to look good. They need to win in a disadvantageous position, and Celeste have been on a roll.
They really have. That you can tell, you can hear them behind us. They're starting to really feel this game. They're thinking, we can take this matchup. Let's go to Dust 2 right now. We are feeling ready to go.
It's all about that momentum. It's all about that mental right now. Can Orange.Sphynx hold on? It looks like it will be a half buy. Deagle picked up by GFI. And that means they're going to leave it all on the line. If they can't take this round, if they can't turn it around, it's going to be match point for Celeste. And it's an aggressive defense, pushing up into mid, splitting off right now, and it's everyone from Celeste making moves in.
Very aggressive push down the A ramp, but it's not working out at all. Iceberg and Afrolin, they're just dispatching of these pistols. Jasminism and GFI, the last two left alive on the server, in a really awkward spot right now. Orange.Sphynx and Jasminism can find nothing. Surely GFI can't do this.
And she knows it right now. Just moving slowly, hoping that she can get maybe a sneaky pick here. Eliminate just one AK, pick one up. Maybe you have a chance to get a few exit frags, but this is the freest plant on the B site that Celeste have gotten.
And this is not good at all for Orange.Sphynx. They would have expected to take this map. They took it on day one, but clearly Celeste, they've been building on it. They are looking so, so good. And match point is looking absolutely set. Orange.Sphynx, they're going to have to try and force the overtime.
It looks like Celeste will guarantee themselves that overtime situation here. And it's just a fan out. Celeste are going to be able to defend every angle of this bomb, so there's nothing sneaky coming through. There's no defuse kit anyway, so they shouldn't have to worry about it. Tarathiel on the peak from GFI secures the round.
Here we go. First map point the way of Celeste. And you've got to wonder, is this rattling Orange.Sphynx?
You have to think at this point. You saw how stone-faced they were. We know this team can be all business, but there were worrying signs that they might not be able to take it. AWP in the hands of 3v. We haven't seen Orange.Sphynx really invest in this as much on this game. And an AUG picked up by Jasmine, and the rest is all M4s. It's versus an AK stack. Here's the start of it. Potentially the final round if Celeste can clutch it out.
And they're looking for that mid-aggression again very early on. They have the players in towards A. They're taking control of middle. Orange.Sphynx playing that passive role again on the CT side. So difficult to get right.
Oh, Iceberg not going up through tarp this time around. No, it's just a fake. She will be making moves on that. And she does see Flash coming through. Molotov should be able to check this one. But this is Celeste really getting on a roll. They don't need to pick up the bomb early. They can play for early kills, but Oriophilia does get traded on. Jasmine picks her up first, and that's a turnaround. Iceberg's out, and Orange.Sphynx have a chance.
Two early picks for Orange.Sphynx. There's a little bit of opportunity here. You can see GFI aware that she can't get too aggressive on the angle. Argent almost giving away a frag, but now 5 versus 3. They just have to play crossfires here, Orange.Sphynx. They know they have the advantage. They just need to play the angles and force an overtime.
A lot of sprays through the smoke there for Celeste, hoping they can tag somebody, but it's not happening. Slow movements. The bomb will be picked up by Afrolin. They're going to hope they can sneak into a site.
Very methodical. Nothing really going at the moment for Celeste. Looks like it's going to be the OT unless they can find a good few frags, and very, very soon. 41 seconds left. GFI locking down the door. Gets one. The trade is through. 4 versus 2. They're going to try and make their way in towards this B bomb site, but it's such a lockout. Valenceable taken down by Alaska. It is all on to Afrolin to prevent the OT.
She does get one spray down. It's a 1v2 right now. 1v3 make that. As she moves it onto the B site, looking for it, and Orange.Sphynx have tied it up again. We're going to overtime on Vertigo.
Our second overtime of this event, and I mean, this is going right down to the wire.
It absolutely is. Both these teams want it, but Orange.Sphynx, again, you have to be thinking, have we picked the wrong map? Have we floated the wrong thing up against the likes of Celeste? They were able to beat them on day one, but now they find themselves in an overtime situation against the Indonesians. Can they take the win here? They'll be much relieved if they can, moving on to their map of Dust 2.
Several players showing up across the board for Celeste and looking really, really solid in that initial drive, almost securing map 1 for a brilliant last round coming through from Orange Esports.
Yes, it is. But forcing that overtime, you have to think, if anything, that's going to pull you out of the slump we saw for a couple of rounds. Picking it back up, it was so close, so much. Last words of wisdom from the coaches. They get back into the game. First OT. They just need to secure themselves 4 more rounds on either side.
Oriophilia immediately bringing out the AWP, but GFI has found an opening pick, and that is exactly what Orange.Sphynx needed to start things off.
Tarathiel already dropped down, but you have to worry about Oriophilia. She's been working some magic with this AWP. Keep your eyes on her on that mini-map here as she sniffs around mid. Bomb is dropped down. Iceberg should go back to pick it up in just a moment.
Valenceable is going to walk right into the crosshairs here if she's not very, very careful. The Molotov will obscure the vision somewhat of 3v, but it looks like she's got this absolutely down. All too easy a pick with the AWP at range. The smoke will keep her out of this, and as GFI falls, it's going to be 4 versus 4. This bomb should be able to go down on A.
Yeah, the T's all of a sudden moving. They're going to have to get that bomb first before they happen. So moving back in, picking that one up. The rest of the CTs alerted to the presence on the A site. This may be a retake scenario as they're moving in a little slower. They have to cover that one up right now. There's a lot of smoke down on the A site.
This is a little bit awkward now. You can see, oh, Valencia going to find a pick, and Orange.Sphynx are able to trade it out through 3v, but 3 versus 3 still. The bomb's still yet to go down on that A bomb site. Ophelia trying to find the info.
Still the AWP a threat right now, but tagged down to half health. Not going to be the easiest. She's going to poke about, see if she can find somebody. Sticking a peek out and takes the shot onto Argent. Looking for a second, not able to find it. The turnaround, it's just Iceberg 1v2. The op has been picked up by 3v. The spray is there, and Orange.Sphynx take the first round of overtime.
That is so, so important. The mental boost for Orange.Sphynx. They really struggled towards the end of that second half, but the first round of OT goes their way. Start to build that confidence, start to build these rounds up, and try and steal themselves a map.
Not to mention steal themselves a couple of rifles, the AWP and the AK picked up by Alaska and 3v. That's going to help the economic situation. Of course, both these teams have quite a lot in the bank thanks to the way overtime rules work. Let's take a look back at those replays. The spray down through the smoke. Afrelin trading it back. And that was a great shot by Ophelia, but just not enough.
Super efficient CS, and I mean, it went right down to the wire. A 2 versus 1. Iceberg not quite able to pull it off. The retake looks so, so strong from Orange. Again, fairly standard early round. You can see GFI desperate to get aggressive, wants to find that opportunity, that opening pick for her team.
Again, Celestè fanned out without the bomb, but it looks like most of the focus is towards the B site. Turnaround from last time. Full AK stacks on them.
Nice and aggressive this time towards middle. They're taking a lot of map away here, Celestè. They've got an opportunity to split the B bomb site, and Orange.Sphynx getting aggressive on the peak. Iceberg almost ripping the head off of GFI.
Yeah, really close. GFI avoided getting tagged by that one. Information given, though. And it looks like this is going to prompt Celestè to start moving through. Iceberg sprayed down by GFI. Forward defense on the ramp there.
Very unfortunate timing as now the B push trying to come in, but Jasminism's locking it down. Finally, the trade comes through. 4 versus 3 now. There's still presence. Alaska's towards the generators, but her team are falling around her, and now Alaska does strike, and now all too easy. Orange.Sphynx, they mop up the mess. 17-15.
Oh, boy. Orange.Sphynx starting to get back on a roll themselves, and is that a note of panic I'm detecting on the Celestè side? They still have plenty of money to work with for right now, but you don't want to be put in a situation where you have to force on that final. GFI, what a brilliant push down the ramp. Jasminism getting one. The spray, Afrelin trading back, but just not enough.
Just not quite enough to secure things here. You can see Celestè desperate to get these rounds on the board, because now Orange.Sphynx, they're just 2 rounds away from taking this and taking Celestè map pick. A little bit of desperation for Celestè as a 5-man play towards the staircase early on, not really panning out. Jasminism using that AUG at range.
Trying her hardest right now. The AWP in the hands of 3v still pretty deadly. And Orange.Sphynx, no, they've just got to hold on to that B site. Everybody moving around stairs right now with the Molotov out. That's the key to rush.
Full utility execute, and Celestè, they're going to walk right into the crosshairs here. Tarathiel, the first one, but the spray's not good for Jasminism.
Tarathiel will finally get finished off, but that was a heavy investment with that trade right now. In the smoke, the rest of the T's go. It's Iceberg turned around. The trades back and forth. 2v3, it's down to 3v and Argent.
No reason not to go for this last round of the first half of OT, but they're locked out of the site for the time being. Argent needs a gift of a frag, and Ophelia just starting to push into the crosshairs. Might well give it to her. Indeed, she will. Now 2v2, there's opportunity to get into this site, but 3v needs to lock down these doors. Afrelin in such an advanced position, and as her teammates taken down, Afrelin will secure it 16-17 as we go into the second half.
That's what Celestè needed, not give that 3-0 before the swap over to CT. So Orange.Sphynx only 1 round up here in overtime.
Needing 2 out of the 3 remaining rounds to really secure this one. And Orange.Sphynx, they're looking a little bit wobbly here on Vertigo. Certainly a worse performance than their day one.
Well, that's definitely true. And we can say for Celestè, it's quite the opposite. A better performance out of them. They did finally get rolling, and we see why they like this map. They know every nook and cranny. They know the angles they need to take. And it's down to the execution. Orange.Sphynx has bested them 17-16, but that's not much to speak of. That's a game of inches, and all they need is to inch over that finish line.
AKs across the board for Orange.Sphynx. The single AWP setup this time, not opting to pick up the secondary Celestè, opting instead just to allow Ophelia the freedom to roam around this map as she chooses. 5 AKs, and it looks like it's a fast B play coming in from Orange.Sphynx. They've got the presence.
Yeah, they do. Molotov will stop that push for just a moment. And Celestè will always know since that's what they like to do, we can bet that Orange.Sphynx will try to rush it up these stairs.
Very slow, cautious, well-timed approach at the moment, but there's so much CT presence here. There's going to need so many shots coming out from GFI and her teammates as Orange.Sphynx going straight through. It's an absolute murder. 2 players down already, and there's tags to work with. Iceberg locking down the site. GFI can find 2, but that's all she'll get, and we draw level at 17 all.
Yes, we do, and I think that was a miracle. GFI got as much as she did, knocking out 2 weapons of the hands of Celestè. 17 all here, and this overtime just got real nice and spicy.
Oh, this is quite something. Neither team is willing to give an inch. First to 19, of course, so if either team can have a flawless end to the half here, they will be taking victory on map 1. Orb still available for Ophelia. The 5 AKs again for Orange.Sphynx. They need to start finding something on their T side.
Yes, they do. AK stacks up here for Orange.Sphynx. I don't think they'll be going for a full B rush anytime soon. They haven't done a whole lot of mind games, no faking in this particular map. It's really been as televised as you possibly can, as telegraphed, I should say.
Very simple Counter-Strike. Both teams just looking to hit their shots, just looking to get a feel for the game, as Alaska will get some presence in towards middle, baits the Molotov out from the CT side, so starting to drain that CT utility. Argent desperate to find some information. Orange.Sphynx are fairly heavily stacked in towards middle at the moment.
Lots of Molotovs coming out here. Tarathiel will put down a smoke to put out the fire. And how do Orange.Sphynx move in from here? Do they back away, in fact, knowing that Tarathiel can cover this area? Iceberg, of course, on the opposite side. Big
call to make, and GFI is going to go up on the boost here to try and get that information, trying to be proactive on this peak. Swings wide, spots the player, hits the shot as well. Of course she would, GFI. Now the advantage is there, and they can look to execute towards one of these sites and get themselves towards map point.
Can't afford to get the trade kill, though. You need to turn around that pre-fire coming through for GFI. They're still sitting in mid, but it looks like they might be taking a rotate towards A. In fact, it's just going to be GFI covering that angle.
Just trying to make sure there's no kind of a flank, I'd imagine. Just being very cautious here. Orange.Sphynx, you do not want to make the mistake at 17 all. 30 seconds left on the clock. They need to start executing. Iceberg still alive on the site, and the flashes. Ophelia are able to get one back onto Alaska. This is going to make things very awkward now.
Ooh, Iceberg does get tagged down to 58%, but it's a fight out on the B. Trades back and forth. Jasminism and Argent in a 2v3. Make that 2 as Afrelin drops, but the Ophelia op is still in there.
There's tags to work with as well for Orange.Sphynx. The Molotov goes deep and just about catches. Argent has to swing, but the frag not coming through. Finally, Ophelia takes the shot. It's all on Jasminism. 1 versus 2. Playing the generator. So much room to move. She will get the first. Ophelia on the P2K will get it. 18 to 17. How has it come down to this?
I have absolutely no idea. Good switch up. Great game sense from Ophelia, turning onto the P250 and getting the elimination. If they can get one more round, avoid the double overtime. You can hear them getting excited here.
Once again, Orange.Sphynx on the ropes. They have to rescue this one. They need to secure that double OT. They will have AKs across the board. Of course, plenty of cash in these OT scenarios, but these rounds have been coming right down to the wire, and Celestè just edging it out.
Yes, they are. It is their map after all, and they are determined not to let Vertigo be a repeat of day 1. 3 players of Orange.Sphynx rushing through the mid just to sweep it out, make sure the information's not given. And it looks like there will still be a heavy commitment in the general direction of B. Molotov's down. Tarathiel looking through the smoke to see if there's going to be a push-up by the Orange.Sphynx side.
Early presence is very, very passive. No real information gained by either side. Nobody wants to be that player, as Alaska is going to get pushed on by Tarathiel. The dink's through, but the frag goes the way of the T side. That's the opening. Orange.Sphynx, they have a low HP player, but they found an opening pick, and now Alaska looking to use some of that utility in towards mid. They've got an opening, and really they just have to try and pick a bomb site with less CT presence and explode onto it.
Well, that would probably be A at this point. They already know 3v at least in the area, but isn't going to see anything until she goes up the ramp. Meanwhile, Argent keeping eyes on the stairs to make sure there's no aggressive defense coming in for Celestè. This has been one of the problems for Orange.Sphynx on the T side here at Vertigo. They have just slowed it down and forced themselves into a situation where they have to rush up into a bomb site. And it will be B after all.
They've got 50 seconds to work with this time as they make their way up the stairs, and the nade from Iceberg should do some damage. And indeed, Argent absolutely eats it down to 50. The bomb's going to make its way onto the site now, but after plant 4v5 and there's tags to work with, the CT side can be feeling confident as Afrelin gets one back.
Spray down onto Alaska. Tarathiel, of course, being the one that fell in that situation. The rest of the T's are coming through. It's just 2 on the plant. They're going to go for the flank. And I don't think Celestè have any idea this is happening. Afrelin has to move away from that Molotov, and they actually find the kill with it. Ophelia is still the threat here, but this is the turnaround. Orange.Sphynx look to take this one to double OT. They just need to survive, and they do!
Double OT, here we come. 18-18, 1 OT, not enough to separate these teams here on Vertigo, so we will go through to the second.
Oh boy, this is getting some close Counter-Strike, and like I said, it is getting hot in here because, man, those were some Molotov kills. Real style points given to these teams. Orange.Sphynx hang on at the last second.
That was so close, and Orange.Sphynx just about able to hold on here. They really need to be working on that. They need to be being proactive. I think this second OT, they have to be the ones to find the lead early on, and they have to secure it. They've got to be feeling every time this goes to another OT a little bit less confident.
Now it's just a game of endurance. This is map 1. I cannot believe it. These teams really want to qualify. Remember, the winner of this one will still have to play another best-of-3 up against Phoenix, the team that always has 3-map games. Who wants it more?
This is absolutely ridiculous. Oriofilia going very aggressive early on. That CT AWP making her way down the ramp. Almost hits the early shot, but not quite able to find it. Orange.Sphynx, of course, having to start on the T side as 3v takes a ton of damage.
She does. Not the greatest start for Orange.Sphynx. They haven't picked the bomb back up, but a spread out for information here. All the way in mid, on every angle, every corridor. Oriofilia keeping that scope up. If 3v checks in, that's an easy shot. Doesn't matter where it is. There's the peek. She misses.
She's already found the leg, but not quite the frag, as now the counter damage is coming through. Nade not going to do too much work. Oriofilia wanting to be proactive, wanting to be aggressive, but has got to just check that as the execute starts to come through from Orange.Sphynx. They're taking map control away from Celestè and their CT side here. Oriofilia is desperate to be the one to secure this.
Well, if there's anyone you can trust with an op on the Celestè side, that's who it is. But Orange.Sphynx would rather avoid her. It looks like they are playing with the idea of going for a B plant, and I think that will be the execution here. Lots of smokes down. You can see Alaska on the high ground getting tapped by Tarathiel and the M4A1S.
That makes this B hit a little bit one-dimensional now, and Iceberg still alive, buying time around the edges of these smokes. Argent will lob the Molotov, forcing her out of position.
Right now. GFI is able to get one back onto Valenceable. Head taps on the AK, but they're also losing members. Alaska, Jasmine, and both down in this situation. The plant a little chaotic in this situation now as 3V and Argent are the last one standing. Afferlin looking to hunt through this smoke. Bomb is down.
Argent's got to go absolutely huge here. A teammate on just 24 points of health. There's no more utility left for the CT side to flush them out. So just got to play the bomb, play the angles, get your team the advantage. Tarathiel starting to push in, trying to isolate these 1v1s, but Argent's got a number. Now just 2 players left, and 3v finds another one, just 24 HP. It's all down to Oriofilia on the AWP. One versus one. Argent can hear it. She's just playing around these boxes, buying so much time for her team.
Oh boy, you just got to let the bomb go. It's got to be tapped. There is the defuse kit for Oriofilia, but this is the biggest game of chicken. High stakes right now. The turnaround, the tap. Is it enough time?
No.
I don't think so. That's going to be the explosion. And Orange.Sphynx eke out the round.
They get there first, by the skin on their teeth. Nobody left alive for the T side, but of course OT, so much cash in the bank. Nobody's going to be concerned at all for Orange.Sphynx. Somehow securing that first round on the T side. They seriously struggled in OT1, but off to a flying start on OT2.
They'll definitely take it right now. The casualties really don't matter too much. AK stacks for the likes of Orange.Sphynx, except for GFI.
Krieg onto GFI. A lovely choice. Looking for the ranged picks. I do love a Krieg. As Oriofilia, again, going to go aggressive with this AWP. Looking for the proactive peek. Looking to isolate 3v. She's been tagged down here once before, so very aware of the possibility. Falling back passively.
Just edging away very slowly. Over by forklift, you can see Oriofilia looking for another one. There's that shoulder peek, and 3v. One tapped. This time it pays off.
A little bit too much of your shoulder shown, and Valenceable's going to get a second. That's a 2-man advantage for Celestè. This is absolutely ideal for your CT side on Vertigo. They can just start to lock out the maps here. Orange.Sphynx is going to need something very, very special if they're to get back into this round.
Oh, yes, indeed. Going up the stairs out of spawn. They will head their way into mid with the remaining 3 members grouped up. 3 AKs in tow. But Celestè, they can afford to wait and bait at this point.
Tarathiel just going to be Molotov'd out of the angle at the last second. Falls back wide and gives herself a new position. Valenceable looking for the boost over the top. Just changed their mind at the last second. Now they'll go, and the smoke isn't going to obscure this at all. Trying to go through mid to B. The damage is there. The Molotov will take care of things. It's all down to Jasmineism. She's 1v4. There's nothing she can do.
And she's already tagged down to 73. Ooh. And in the back, Jasmineism does manage to find one. Solo onto the B bomb site, though, and it is only Afferlin there to take her out, make that Valenceable. Celestè will take the round, 19-19 now.
19 apiece. Of course, 22, the magic number in OT2. And neither team looking like they're going to get there easily. The buys going back and forth like crazy. Celeste will be looking to take the lead on the CT side, of course. They do have the AWP again on Oriofilia, who's got consistently so aggressive. No counter from Orange.Sphynx.
I think if you 3v, you can't afford to peek out there. Not anymore. Not by that A ramp. And the movement is into mid. This time they've got the bomb.
And that pot flash is just to fake the idea that Oriofilia is doing this exact same aggression, has traded damage towards middle. Tarathiel will be found. That's the opening that they need. GFI and Jasminism just going to take control now. They're just rushing straight through towards this A-bomb site, trying to isolate the CTs, and they will do so. Jasminism gets another before the trade.
Alaska taken down by Oriofilia on the AWP, but this number advantage definitely working in favor of the T's right now as they look to establish control on the A site. Oriofilia scrambling to get into a position where she can take that one, but she's stopped up by the Molotov, and meanwhile, Iceberg and Afrolin are taking the slow route. Bombs down.
GFI staying aggressive is absolutely crucial here. She just buys time. She can rotate. She can flank. And Afrolin knows it. You can see her holding the angle. Might actually get a timing on this peak here. But GFI not looking the right way. Will be found. 3v3. That's the start for Celeste as they look to retake this A-bomb site.
Oriofilia keeping that scope up. Oh, Iceberg gets lit, but not entirely eliminated through the smoke. The spray is there. They see the bomb, but they can't get to it safely. Jasminism traded out by Afrolin. The scope, the shot was better, excuse me. It's a 1v2, but there's really no time to try and get that defuse off safely. As long as two T's stay around. The drop down, that's a 1v1. 3v didn't know what hit her. And Argent, that's going to be it.
Orange.Sphynx, they are 2 rounds away, and they're heading to the CT side. They looked far better on CT side in OT1. They do not need much more here to take this first map.
This is the healthiest situation they've been in pretty much in the entirety of Vertigo. You could see some smiles on the faces there. Argent pretty happy about this one. It has been a tough, a grind of a match, but they're on the edge.
You have to feel for whichever team ends up in the next best of 3 later today. They are going to be so exhausted. Map 1 goes to double OT, and it is not fun for either squad.
It's a lot of Counter-Strike, man. And if you're going up against Phoenix, you know this is going to be a 3-map Counter-Strike game. I probably jinxed it now, but it's still a ways away. We've got that coming up next. Orange.Sphynx looking for the 21st. Here as we switch over to the CT side.
They do have the AWP onto 3v. First time we've seen Orange.Sphynx pick that up on the CT side, so an interesting call. Looking to mix it up here is Celeste.
5 defuse kits. They're not messing around.
Celeste spreading across the map early on, just looking for a pick, looking to be proactive, but also cautious to let themselves get found.
Yeah. All that money allows them to pick up whatever the heck they want for sure. Moving in, 5 stack on the AKs for the likes of Celeste, but taking their time. This fan out, they really like this on the T side. Not picking with the bomb until they know where the positions of their opposition are.
Ooh, Argent gets the opening pick though. Valincible taken down, and that's an ideal start towards middle. That's unlocked one of those flanks. Now there can't be any mid-B split coming in. If they want to go B, they're just going to have to go up the ramp, and Oriofilia looking to do so is out in the open. Jasminism not quite able to connect with a shot. Will find it now.
Eliminates Oriofilia off the map. This is good for Orange.Sphynx to try and stop this B take. They've got a heavy stack here committed. The remaining 2 players holding down the edge of A site, and now the bomb will look hesitantly to come up the stairs, but it's such heavy presence.
This mid flank from Tarathiel is so key. Argent has no idea.
She can tag her here. That turnaround, she didn't have the spray in time. Tarathiel tapped down to 10, but she got her job done. 3v2. A dangerous situation, and 3v might not know this, but Tarathiel, she's not peeking the right direction, but there's a miss. On the AWP, you cannot afford to miss that shot.
She's lucky in that Tarathiel is just 10 HP, so can grab that USPS out, and even the nade might do it. Not quite able to connect, though, so through 2 versus 3. A little bit of an opportunity here for Celeste. That missed shot from 3v could be the gift that they need.
Bomb goes down. Here's the retake scenario. GFI, Alaska, 3v still up and available. It's going to be on how well Tarathiel can hold this corridor. The spray down finds Alaska, but gets traded out. It's down to Afrolin. She's got one. GFI has to be the hero. The jump, not enough. Afrolin's taken down, and Orange.Sphynx, they're on map point.
They are 1 round away from taking Vertigo. They have 2 more opportunities to take map 1 to steal Celeste map pick in double overtime.
Oh boy, it would be a steal at this point because it has been a hard-fought Vertigo, and you got to think the endurance is being tested on both squads here.
To the limit. 3v again going to grab that AWP out. We saw her miss an absolutely vital shot, but her teammates save her here, and there's opportunity for Orange.Sphynx to take map 1.
3 players on the side of Orange.Sphynx have 30+ kills. Fragging out as best they can. Tarathiel moving up through the tarp here. It looks like it's going to be a rush onto the A site. Oh no, that's a fake. The bomb's been panned off. It looks like they're making their way into mid. Hesitating just a second.
3V's got a really nice angle on the AWP here to lock down that tarpaulin peak as a missed smoke comes out. That's a missed opportunity for Celestè. That's really unfortunate. GFI going to be proactive, finds the opening peak. 3V there to cover, and now this is looking awkward for Celestè. GFI looking to do more through the wood, down to 30 HP, Oriophilia.
Celestè are backed against the wall here. They have to make a move. It's now or never, do or die on Vertigo. 3V has this ramp covered. They know the movement's coming. The peak there, not in time, but GFI does it anyways. Traded by Valenceable, but those are 2 remaining Ts with less than 30 health apiece.
They are really struggling to get into this site here. 4 versus 2 for Valenceable and Oriophilia. They might be able to get the bomb down, but it's going to be a very difficult hold of this bomb site. Everybody just pauses for a minute as the bomb does indeed make its way onto A. There's plenty of presence here for Orange.Sphynx. They have the utility and they have the ability here to take map 1.
Should just move Jasminism over at this point. They don't necessarily know if there's a wraparound, so she's guarding that one corridor over at B. And bomb will come down for Oriophilia. No, not yet.
Faking the bomb plant to get the peaks out, and they are going to peek round, but Arja's got it, and here we go! Orange.Sphynx, they take map 1. They take Celestè pick in double OT.
22-19, immediate discussion happening as they take their headsets off, and they know they didn't just dodge bullets. They dodged Celestè on this one, and oh, they found themselves a heck of a round, a heck of a map there. But they can just laugh it off and move on to Dust 2, spirits high.
And move on to Dust 2, the map that they took 16-10 against Celestè on day 1, but I mean, you can't take anything from day 1 anymore. A map that looked good for Orange.Sphynx went to double OT.
And if anything, Celestè, they're definitely not happy about those results, but they know how close that was. They know they had the opportunity. And as long as they don't let that affect their mental going into this next one, I think this Dust 2 could be very close.
Yeah, very tight map and very unfortunate for Celestè. They looked incredibly solid across that first one. Taking it to double OT is no mean feat, especially against a roster like Orange.Sphynx. But now heading into Dust 2, they've just got to let that not affect them. Reset yourselves, come into this and take it to a 3rd map.
I think every time they pick Vertigo, man, they just psych people out. They know those angles, they know those strats, but the slightly better execution for the rest of Orange.Sphynx just meant that they go up 1 map. And if there's ever a time for Celestè to break that trend of going down either 0-2 or 2-0, I think this is it.
This is their last chance. This is it. If they don't win this one, they are out of the tournament. Their chances at DreamHack Valencia are shot. So got to be throwing everything they possibly can into map 2 and desperately trying to take Orange.Sphynx's map pick.
Now they're going to have to turn it around for sure. We've seen some stranger things happen, but Dust 2, you need to be good at the basics, the fundamentals there. We've seen some fantastic play, much improvement from the Indonesian side. Will they be able to level it up? That's the question, but we are going on a short break. When we return, Dust 2, we'll find out right after this.
How do you reveal the hidden enemies in PUBG? Adjust the black equalizer to brighten darker areas, which makes it easier to spot enemies hiding in the shadows. How do you make your PUBG experience more diverse and convenient? Color Vibrance allows for more realistic and vibrant colors. It also provides the convenience to tune colors in-game, making you see the change instantly. Save up to 3 different settings based on your preferences, and use the S switch to quickly change between those settings.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to the ZOWIE DIVINA 2019 Women's Asia CSGO Championship. We are into it right now, a double overtime on Vertigo for this last chance, last gasp qualifying round for the likes of Orange.Sphynx and Celestè. Celestè on the ropes at the moment, but we are going over to Dust 2. And it's all about the basics of Counter-Strike on this one, Wolfie.
All about the fundamentals, and Dust 2 is such a simple map, but so difficult to get right. And I mean, after seeing double OT on Vertigo, anything is possible.
I think so, and it's going to be a long day of Counter-Strike, even for the winner here. They'll go up against, of course, Phoenix after this for that last shot at DreamHack Valencia. But they clearly, both these teams, want it so badly right now. That double OT, you just don't expect it coming through, and it's been such close Counter-Strike across the tournament.
It takes a crazy amount of mental resilience to make your way through a double OT. Winning it is something, but losing it is a whole other ball game. And Celestè, they've really got to pick themselves up here. They've got to try and push their way through. This is Orange.Esports map pick. Orange.Sphynx are going to be feeling strong, but Celestè, they've just got to put everything they can into this.
Absolutely. However, I have to think if you are the likes of Orange.Sphynx, you're expected to beat this team. You did it pretty handily the last time around. That was such a long time ago, it seems, at the opening day of the tournament. But led by GFI, this squad has been looking good. And, you know, they do feel confident. You know, they've even got their hand signals. They say, it's fine. We're just going to hang loose. Everything's chill. But on the opposite side for Celestè, they kept it close. And I think they can take some solace from that fact. They know they were within the grasp of taking a map. And if they do win this one, we'll be going to a third on Inferno.
Absolutely. They know they took it incredibly close, far closer than they managed on day one, and I think they can draw from that. They can go, okay, we have clearly improved massively since that initial game, so why don't we see if we can improve that Dust 2 result? I mean, it wasn't a complete stomp, 16-10, and look how chilled out they look.
They don't seem phased at all, and I think this really speaks volumes about the mental state. We talked about it at the start of the map, that of all the teams, Celestè are the one that kind of generate their own buzz, that generate their own hype. They don't need the results to ride them up or down. And in a way, they're almost kind of the opposite of Orange.Sphynx, because Orange.Sphynx don't let anything affect them, for the most part, at least not visibly. And Celestè, they don't either, but they're always by default happy.
It has been nice to see Orange.Sphynx loosening up a bit in today's matchup. They have been a bit more emotional than normal, but Celestè, they are ramping it up to another level. The screams we are hearing are going straight over any audio I'm getting in my ears.
Absolutely. They've definitely been the louder of the two teams here, and the Indonesian side has a lot to be cheerful for. It was such a close one, but you just need to put it away. If they can execute on Dust 2, force a map 3, that's where you start to turn things on its head. And Orange.Sphynx, they have shown some weaknesses. It may be on Vertigo, but we've also seen a recipe for beating them in the past. It happened just yesterday at the hands of Phoenix.
We've seen some chinks in the armor of Orange.Sphynx, and it does seem that they are exploitable, especially on some of those CT sides when we see them not opting to pick up the AWP as frequently as they perhaps might. And there's good counters for them out there. It's just up to Celestè to really have done their research to find it and to make it happen.
Well, this is the Orange.Sphynx map pick, so we'll see what side Celestè takes first in this one. Fairly neutral side, of course, Dust 2, the most fundamental of maps, and we are onto it. It looks like Celestè will opt to go CT first.
Understandable decision again, just looking to build that platform early on. Smoking a couple of flashbangs for 3B. So, and there's so much utility on the CT side. Again, Tarathiel picking up flashes and smokes to try and contest long, but it looks like early presence towards B for Orange.Sphynx.
Yeah, they're going to be making their way into upper tunnels right now, and waiting for just a second. This is the evolution of the pistol rounds that we have seen. Not full rushes, nothing super silly anyways. These teams have gone for it. Time to get in, and there's that peek out. Immediately spotted, but 3V just going to be lit up for just a second. Oreophilia trying to get the outplay onto Alaska. Not going to happen, and it is the first blood of this round. Alaska dropping down, turns it onto Iceberg.
Tags to work with for the CT side. They might just be baited into giving this retake a go. You can see 3V and Alaska incredibly low on HP as Argent will get the bomb down, but 5 versus 3, no utility. Smoke and a flashbang, all they've got. Tarathiel going to be using everything she has to try and unlock this B-bomb site. Such a difficult one to get into on the retake, as Aphrolim will find the early entry.
Trying to get it on the doors right there, and the turnaround is good, but Tarathiel, Valencia both going to fall down. Orange.Sphynx clean it up. No more shenanigans here.
And really efficient trading from the T side. As soon as that bomb goes down, you're backing them and keeping 3 players alive. Efficient trading across the board, keeping that armor going, building up the cash, as we will see the MAC-10s coming out.
G5 is feeling like stacking some dollar bills right there. Let's see what the rest of it comes through. In fact, I think the whole team does. It's only Jasmine that breaks ranks and takes a Galil.
I've seen that more and more in this tournament, really developing its own micro meta in terms of the SMGs.
Who started it, yeah. If I recall correctly, all the way back on day one. In fact, this is the same thing we saw on day one with Dust 2 coming in once again. History does seem to often repeat itself, and here's the rush through upper tunnels.
This is going to be very difficult for Ophelia. She only has the USPS, very little to be found here. Going to look for the headshots. We'll actually get the dink onto GFI, but not quite enough to find the frag. And now, as the push comes through, the Pistols are just going to have to do whatever they can. They've rushed through mid. They're going to make their way into the tunnels, just looking for damage.
Yeah, Celeste have managed to soften up the likes of Orange.Sphynx, at least on 3v and GFI, but is it going to be enough? No, Alaska mows down Tarathiel, stacking that money, looking for more. The tag in for Afrolin, finally! She'll go down, and Valensible manages to grab 2.
Making it expensive at the very least, and you can see GFI wants nothing more to do with that. Jasmine in just going to be sent to mop up with the Galil, a nice series of frags. And I mean, they're still getting damage done, Celeste. They're finding frags, they're finding potential, just not quite enough to secure the round. And now, as the first buy comes in, they need to just expand on that.
Yes, they do. Try to stack this one up. It won't be full bonus. They will be picking up a couple of AK-47s to pick up in the mix. And the real key here for Orange.Sphynx is getting off to this rolling start, not just for the economics, but also to build a momentum against which Celeste will have a hard time coming back.
Need to use these MAC-10s really efficiently, look for the information, play with the SMGs, have the AKs there to trade out the kills. No long presence at all for the CT side. Celeste not opting to take that control of that area of the map whatsoever. Tarathiel up into short for the time being, but the rotation's coming in towards A. Short control taken by Orange.Sphynx.
Gotta watch, though. Tarathiel is the one holding onto that door. She sees the smoke going through and just peeking a little bit back and forth. A bit of a jiggle, but a slower one. As she starts to inch her way forward, not knowing how many of the T's are here. And this is a heavy presence, big commitment. Everyone is there, except for GFI. It looks like she will eventually rejoin the team. Moving on in. Alaska getting the tap.
Iceberg just trying to hide on the site, buying as much time as possible, but that smoke gives the game away, and she has to find damage. 3v takes her down, and Afrolin able to find at least one on the trade, but it's a 4 versus 3 onto this A bomb site, and there's still a flank available. Argent in towards the lower tunnels with the MAC-10, gonna gun down Ophelia in the back, and this retake looking almost impossible, and indeed you can see Celeste so aware of this flank, but Argent still finding frags.
And she's barely taken any damage, managed to pick up the FAMAS for herself, and it's all down to Afrolin on this M4A1 to try and save the day. In a 1v4 situation, you're just looking to inflict some economic damage, but nobody's checking really through here. And it looks like there will be at least one spray down onto Alaska.
Just getting a little bit of damage through here, Afrolin. Really awkward position, stuck in towards CT, and the utility started to be used in an attempt to flush her out. And indeed, Argent swinging round. That's 3 for her, upgrading that MAC-10 through to a FAMAS, then through to an M4A4, securing Orange.Sphynx's first round and worrying signs for Celeste.
Talk about a big trade up there for the likes of Argent, and it will be Orange.Sphynx opening with 3 rounds in a row. After that pistol, it's forced Celeste into a situation where they can only half buy. Deagle picked up by Valensible.
Really awkward situation to find yourselves in. There's a few P250s, the one Deagle onto Valensible, and Celeste, they really need to start finding some damage. Orange are building up a bit of an economy. It is going to be the long take. Argent there to contest this, so potential for the pistols to do damage up close.
There's a chance, moving in, but that's going to get slimmer as Iceberg gets mowed down by Argent's M4A. And here's the move up. It looks like it's going to be a push to A short. Not a full commitment just yet, though. They're leaving GFI over by Xbox, and here comes the push in.
Pistols able to get one down, but the short push is completely uncontested, so we're looking at an after-plant situation for these pistols, and this is damage limitation. You see the M4 on Tarathiel making her way into the pit. That's just going to be looking for the headshots, looking for the potential damage. These pistols not going to go up well against the AK-47s.
No, they will not. Those odds usually don't get favored for sure. Tarathiel does manage to pick up one rifle for herself. Will that be enough? And the spray down is there for 3v immediately. Valensible, dangerous peek on that one. Does get tapped again on the repeat. Manages to find a bit of damage onto Alaska, but the hunt is down. GFI moving forward, and they're just going to go for the chase here. Back over in to mid. That's going to be enough.
All too simple. Orange.Sphynx mopping up, and again, just the one frag found by Celeste. The economy really starting to build for that T side as the first pause comes in, and you've got to imagine this is Celeste trying to work out what they need to do. They have the money to get their next buy-in, but they need to start stringing some rounds together.
Just fundamentals. That's what you need here on Dust 2, and they've just been getting outplayed just a little bit at a time by the likes of Orange.Sphynx, who absolutely, if there was any doubt in your mind that this team might be a little jittery after that long double overtime on Vertigo, I think you can wipe that away.
Yeah, they are looking incredibly strong here, Orange.Sphynx. We heard that perhaps there was some nerves going around the camp before this matchup, but nobody seeming worried at all at a 4-0 lead. They've got the full buy on. They've saved so many rifles.
That they have. Really only needing to buy one more. M4A1 picked up by Jasminism. That was saved from the last round. AWP coming in for Oriophilia, though. So this is a heavy commitment. You see there's not a lot of money left to work with on anybody. They get a full stack of utility, and that means Celeste are committed to this round 5.
Double AWP setup coming out as well. Afrelin going to be picking up the secondary towards B.
That's going to be a pretty big rush up on the B right now. They just go immediately through the tunnels and start the spray. Iceberg had no idea what hit her.
And this is such a useful counter for the double AWPs. You know double AWP setups aren't going to be good on the retake, so immediately taking this B bomb site, forcing Invincible to desperately try and get something done through the smoke as the bomb goes down, and there's already a flank coming. GFI making her way in towards middle. The Molotov going to force Oriophilia off of that window peak, and these AWPs, they're not getting anything done.
That's the problem. Even if you manage to get a save out on here, you will be losing another round in this particular situation. And Celeste, it might even be wise for them just to try and see if they can catch anybody on a peak. GFI roving around through mid doors. Finds one, finds two, looking for a third. The spray down is there. Not quite enough. And not eliminating any ops, but doing a lot of damage nonetheless.
And that is absolutely perfect. You could not ask more of Orange.Sphynx in this situation. They take the site and they just start mopping up exit frags. Celeste, they were a little bit indecisive. They were waiting around to see if they could get that entry peak that might let them into the site, but that just led to them being gunned down one at a time by GFI. And what a play from her to get her team 5-0 and really once again pushing the economy of Celeste to the limit.
It's going to be a rough buy situation for Celeste. The saving grace that they do have a couple of AWPs. It is max loss bonus, so at the very least, Celeste have that to work with, but they're going to have limited access to either guns or utility.
Really struggling to get anything going here. They will be picking up the FAMASs, so there is still that double AWP setup. There's potential around that save, but it's going to take something a little bit special from one of these AWPers. Oriophilia, we've known her to show up in past series. Can she do so now? No presence towards long. Argent just going to be able to make her way out without too many issues at all.
Yeah, the first person they'd run into here would be Afrelin. That is one of the operas keeping that long covered, but it's a slow move up. A little bit of investment there, the bomb included, but the mid control will be established here by Orange.Sphynx.
Not finding much of anything in the early round, Celeste. They've just opted to fall back, playing passively on the site, allowing Orange.Sphynx to take control of short, and this looks like it could eventually turn into a split onto the A bomb site. Tarathiel really has to find this opening pick. She's playing a little bit of an off angle, playing the headshot, but they won't find it.
Wow, 3v does get taken down, traded back, was on 2 HP in the turnaround. That's one of the AWPs eliminated immediately. The gap gets closed, and Iceberg and Invincible gotta move. No ops left for them, as the A plant will come down momentarily.
2 FAMASs remaining for the CT side, and really no chance of them unlocking the A bomb site in this scenario. You can see 4 players still alive for Orange.Sphynx, including 3 AK-47s, and already GFI is on a hunt. She's all the way on the B bomb site, trying to find these remaining CT players, just deny them that economy and make it as difficult as possible for Celeste.
They want to keep them down and just keep stacking these wins, rolling forward, even for that max loss bonus going, not content merely to win the round, and that's how Orange.Sphynx can start that steamroll going.
Exactly, and Iceberg is going to be the first one to be found here. Alaska will swing, and that will give the information to GFI either way if she finds the frag or not, and they will find it between them. Last alive is Invincible. She's in towards CT spawn, and I think she's been spotted out here, and indeed she has. The rotation coming through from Orange.Sphynx. They are just hunting her down relentlessly, hoping to stay alive. The bomb takes it instead. 6-0 in favor of Orange.Sphynx here.
Just pushing her into bomb range right now. You can't ask for a much better position than that if you're Orange.Sphynx, saving 4 out of 5 rifles indeed, continuing to stack up that money and slim down the economy of Celeste, forcing them to invest. Oh dear, is that the Swag 7 I see?
The double AWP setup is the only real benefit that Celeste have in this scenario. And of course, Afrelin and Oriophilia, they saved the AWPs in the previous round, so more cash to work with. The rest of the team dropping down onto the SMGs, the shotguns even coming out. A desperation play coming out from Celeste, and you got to worry when the desperations plays are coming out 7 rounds in.
Here's a good push. It's not as fast as it was last time, but in upper tunnels, there's a heavy commitment. Will they move and swing their way back to mid? Instead, you can already see GFI holding mid doors. Just behind Xbox right now. Smoke is in. Tarathiel there. Celeste really need to play this one tight, angled, but there's that peek. Oh, don't know if she saw that.
Didn't spot the player out, and could that be crucial? Invincible playing tight to the angle with the Mag 7 is blinded off of it, and GFI will manage to find the opener. The shotgun's down now, and she has finally spotted Tarathiel out, down to just 6 HP, and they know they've got her pinned in. GFI takes the tech out, finds the frag, and Iceberg able to get 1, but the trade is instantaneous, and this is not looking good again. 4 versus 2. The force buy has not worked out whatsoever for Celeste.
No, it hasn't. The AWP needs to be saved here if you're Oriophilia. There's so much damage to be done, and the bomb will come up, escorted by the rest of Orange.Sphynx. The plant down A site seems to be the way to go, after they made that first push in the early rounds, and this is looking like a 7th in a row for Orange.Sphynx.
Very, very simple stuff for Orange.Sphynx. They are just hitting their shots. That is all they're doing. Keeping 4 players alive as well, absolutely crucial. Of course, for Celeste, this has to be the save. So much cash built up for Orange.Sphynx. They need nothing. They can just go and hunt if they so choose, but it looks like keeping 4 rifles up a little bit of a priority for them, so 7-0. What a scoreline.
Yeah, and it was such a close game on Vertigo. It went to double overtime, and this is an absolute roll right the moment. Oreophilia will manage to get one on the out. Double, no scope. Oh, all right, there's still some bullets left in that chamber.
Not going to go down quietly, Celestè, and if you give them an inch, they'll take it. Managing to get a couple of frags, keeping Orange.Sphynx honest, but the problem is they just need rounds at this point. They can't be pulling off plays like that if they're not getting that bomb defused.
No, they can't. 7-0. The best Celeste can hope for right now is a slim lead if they can take all 8 remaining rounds in the half. AWP still in the hands of Oreophilia. Another buy comes in. FAMAS onto Tarathiel. They're working with so little money.
Such an impressive T-side so far from Orange.Sphynx. They have really looked dominant. The buy is in for Celeste, and they do have a decent amount of firepower, a little bit of utility to back it up as well, as it looks like almost immediately Orange.Sphynx, they're looking to pressure the B-bomb site. Oreophilia on the AWP needs to hit some serious shots here.
Another rush. She misses the opening, and she misses the second. The fire is out there through it. Iceberg and Oreophilia get tagged up, but they do take down GFI and Argent Alaska, tagged pretty heavily. That flash did not do nearly as much work as Orange.Sphynx were hoping for, but they have moved into the B site. It's a 3v3. There is some taps to work with. They need to hold this window, and they cannot do it, but the bomb is down.
Jasminism and 3v to try and lock this site out. The utility is still available for the T side. They've got plenty of opportunities, and there's no B tunnels flank coming in from the CT side at all. They have the man advantage, but that's all they've got. Jasminism spotted out. It's just going to hold the window now as the push starts coming. The timing is so good, but Jasminism finds 2. The 3v trade is there, and the spray down is good. 8-0. Orange.Sphynx cannot be put down on Dust 2.
That was the most expensive round they've had yet, however, and if there's ever a chance for Celeste to get back into it, they need to do it right now. They have a little bit of money to work with. They invested so heavily. The force buys continue to come out by this Indonesian side, and Orange.Sphynx have so much money in the bank, they can just get a full stack of AKs.
Jasminism was on max money when this round started out. She's invested down to 11k, but that's a full buy from her. So much cash built up from this dominant start from Orange.Sphynx, and it's going to have to be one hell of a comeback coming in from Celeste. Oreophilia dropping down onto the scout. Deagles, FAMAS, a couple of M4s. All that Celeste can really must here is, again, Argent starting to flash herself out along.
Yeah, they keep on forcing. This isn't going to be healthy. They need to start establishing some momentum. Otherwise, they are going to get absolutely run over. Argent guarding on the doors. Over in front of Long there. And this is a patient maneuver by Orange.Sphynx. They've rushed a couple of rounds, and now they've got Celeste second-guessing themselves.
The rotations coming through. They are taking a more standard control of the map, but nothing to really work with at all for the CT side just yet. They've really been struggling to find anything. Iceberg making her way down in towards middle, looking for the shot, but GFI has that angle covered. And I mean, if you're Celeste, you need to start finding some opening picks.
You know, Orange.Sphynx not fussed about it, creeping their way up catwalk, looking for the angle on short. Not even picking up the bomb just yet. Argent will go back for it in a moment.
Meticulously clearing all of the angles here. You can see Orange.Sphynx, they do not want to let up the pressure. They want to make every round critical and clinical as the utility will come out. Afrelin on the A ramp, actually spotted out, but can't quite hit the shot. Now the swing comes through. Alaska doing the damage, but being taken down as GFI does find an opener.
Luncible already out of this one. Those numbers aren't going to favor it. There's the turnaround for Athril, and Tarathiel managed to get a few more here. That's an expensive move onto the A site. Not the explosion that Orange.Sphynx were hoping for, and it's a 2v3 situation without the bomb being planted. Iceberg tried to get the flank around, but what can you do? Not even able to get the shot up before a head gets ripped off. It's Iceberg going down, and that's it. Orange.Sphynx notch a 9th.
GFI really feeling it there. 2 swift headshots, and Argent just playing the boxes to perfection. Takes the early dink, but nothing more. And finally, the pause comes through. Celeste, they've got to try and scramble a recovery.
They do, and you can see there's such a difference for this team when they're not playing on a map as comfortable for them and as uncomfortable for their opponents.
This is not looking good at all for Celeste. They need a serious recovery towards the end of this first half. 9-0 down. They have to start finding rounds, and it has to be now. There is no more room for complacency from this CT side of Celeste.
They've got to get something. We've seen them be able to turn momentum in their favor. One round can build into multiples, but Celeste, they just don't seem to have the answers. And the problem is they force every round. We're seeing it again. SMGs coming in.
They know they're not going to be able to build up an economy at this point, so they're just constantly forcing, hoping to break Orange.Sphynx, but with so much cash built in the bank, there's almost no chance of that whatsoever. MP9, a P250 for Afrelin, UMP, AUG, and an M4A4 as an early tag comes through, and this is not the start that Celeste would have wanted to map to. Trying to take short control with the UMP, trying to get proactive with those SMGs.
Well, if there's a saving grace here, it's the fact that there are a couple of Orange.Sphynx members looking to take short control themselves, and if they get tagged through there, on the edge of the smoke, Iceberg opening up with the AUG. Maybe she can find an opening pick. That would start to turn things in their favor.
Really nice boost up, trying to play the smoke, but now as the smoke fades, there's a decision to be made for Iceberg. How long does she hang around in this angle? GFI in towards the lower tiles, not going to be peeking too much of anything, and Alaska spots her out, somehow takes her down instantly. The trade is there, but GFI, perfect position, perfect timing.
1 for 2, that's not the numbers trade you want if you're on the side of Celeste right now. GFI looking to breach through mid-doors. She will flank around Oreophilia. Won't see her in the smoke, but she's gone hunting right now. And who's got the angle and who? Afrelin did not see her coming. Tagged at 34 HP, and it is a rush onto the B site.
And about time. Orange.Sphynx, they do lose 1 to Oreophilia on that M4A1, but this is going to be double digits uncontested for the T side of Orange.Sphynx.
Oreophilia has to save here. She does manage to pick up an AK-47, but there's just no economy to work with. And Celeste, once again, will be put into a forced buy scenario.
We've seen them forcing every single round, desperate to get anything they can started here on Dust 2, but nothing has been coming their way. They're 10-0 down at the end of this round. Their economy is in tatters, and Orange.Sphynx are perfectly built up.
10-0. This is what you hate to see as a Celeste fan. Orange.Sphynx, they are off to a roll right now. And if they can get into the half with, at minimum, 12, that's honestly all they need. But at this point, they might go flawless.
They might well do so. You can see Oreophilia is being hunted down, but Jasminism doesn't seem to have the idea that she's here on 32 HP. Probably going to be an easy enough find, and indeed she will, so at least a little bit more expensive. But the thing is, Orange.Sphynx, they don't care at this point. They have so much cash left to work with. They're on such a strong full buy, and you can see the economy is not there for Celeste. They're going to be back down onto this force buy, getting whatever they can afford, trying desperately to bite back on Dust 2.
Yeah, another FAMAS comes out, double that. With Tarathiel and Afrelin, there are still a couple of other rifles available on the side of Celeste, and they just get whatever they can in terms of utility. A lot of flashes invested in, and they need to make them count here. It looks like the spread, the movement, there's a lot of Orange.Sphynx investment towards long for a change.
And no real presence for the CT side, just trying to use utility, but 3v manages to make a way out without any real issues, starting to push around, take long control. Of course, they know the economy is bust for Celeste. They know there's no AWPs available. We haven't seen a save in so long for the CT side. They have presence on the site. Iceberg has the AK-47, so an opportunity at range for her, but as they start to sneak up long and short respectively, this is going to be a very difficult hold.
If Tarathiel can hang on to this one, the smoke is down, the information's there, and through the gap, 3v does get taken out, but the trade's immediate, and it's going to be doubled. Iceberg head capped by Alaska, and all of a sudden, Orange.Sphynx move once again to the A site. This retake will be oh so difficult.
4 versus 3, and again, limited utility for them to try and flush players out. Alaska can opt to get aggressive here as the short push comes in. She has so much information, she has a man advantage as the double peek comes through. So efficient. How are you doing this, Orange.Sphynx? Tapping away. GFI finishes it off. Of course she does. 11-0. Orange.Sphynx looking on track for a stunning win in map 2.
11-0, and they just make it look too easy. Yet another force buy scenario ends in disaster for Celeste, and Orange.Sphynx keep them guessing round and round again. They go for short, they go for B, then they go for long. You never know what this team is doing, and the P90 comes out. This is the depths that Celeste have been forced into.
Everybody else going for the half buy, but the hero P90, that is not something you hear yourself saying very often for the CT side of Celeste. They are stacking the B bomb site, and at the moment, pretty heavy posturing for Orange.Sphynx towards B as the aggression looks to come through. The CT side up close and personal in the tunnels.
Looking for close. In fact, they'll even move their way into the tunnels right now, but they are in the sights of Argent. The peak is there, and the spray is true. Argent picks up 2, goes down to 4, but you got to think that does not even matter, and it's yet another disaster round. 3v gets head tapped by Oreophilia's Deagle, but it's a consolation prize at this point. And they'll be moving to A site, clearing up Oreophilia. Iceberg trades back onto Alaska, but again, the money, it just doesn't matter. The bomb is down.
3 versus 2. There's an AK recoverable, and Tarathiel has to do so much with this here. If they have any chance of getting into this round, she has to be the single component of this retake. There's very limited utility on the CT side, and they are looking absolutely locked out here. They're going to go down 12-0. They're trying to save that AK-47, and Dust 2 is looking like an absolute stomping ground for Orange.Sphynx.
If they don't end up picking up around here, Celeste will be absolutely gutted heading into the half. They could very well lose it on a pistol round. They need to get something back, and it's not enough to do economic damage because at this point, Orange.Sphynx just can afford to dish out all the money they want until the half comes. Let that bomb explode. You need to save for yourself.
Keep the AK up and alive is important for Celeste. If they're going to force, they need some rifles saved to build around, and they will actually manage to nab a second AK towards the end of that round. So something to work around here, and it should be a decent enough full buy coming out from Celeste. 12-0. They're going to get the AWP again onto Afrelin. Double AWP as Ophelia picks up a secondary. And Orange.Sphynx, could they start losing a couple of rounds towards the end of the first half?
Well, it's not just about the guns. They need to execute better. So far, Orange.Sphynx have continued to mix up their strategy here on Dust 2. And you can tell how well acquainted they are with this map. Of course, it is Counter-Strike 101, but they just make it look so easy. They clearly aced that course. Big play through long. And it's going to be the opening frag. 3v does get taken down, but GFI takes down Tarathiel on the headshot. In return, that's still a better trade for Celeste, though, with Afrelin.
Nice use of the AWP from Afrelin, refragging the situation as we see Orange.Sphynx taking that mid control, taking control of short. Again, starting to flex that power across the map as they dive their way through the B tunnels. Looks like, again, they might be looking to hit B, where the AK of Iceberg is currently stationed. The AWP on the fast rotation for Ophelia in the doors does present a significant issue, but the utility still available for the T side.
Looks like Orange.Sphynx might be second-guessing this push right now. They know they don't have the numbers to work with, and it's not necessarily about saving situation, but they don't want to give Celeste a chance to grab a couple more rounds before the half. GFI waiting past mid doors, letting that smoke clear. And nobody's there. Celeste's investment over at the A site, split between the two, just trying to defend wherever Orange.Sphynx go.
GFI's job here just to find the opening pick. Ophelia has her locked in, though, so if she swings too wide on this peak, there could be an issue coming through for Orange.Sphynx. There could be some potential. GFI has to be the instigator, but also can't get taken down by Ophelia. The bomb making its way back through the lower tunnel, so a second call coming out. Orange.Sphynx second-guessing themselves, perhaps wanting to go through this mid-angle in numbers, and indeed, the bomb's actually going to make its way up towards short.
Looks like it. They hop up over Xbox here, but they don't have a lot of time to work with. The scope is up, but the miss comes in. And Valenciable and Ophelia both get tapped here. Now it looks like it's going to be a disaster. Once again, the bomb makes its way onto A, and Afrelin has to hold this one out. She does get the tap onto Jasminism. There's still one more chance for GFI, but she needs to get the outplay. 7 seconds. I don't think she's got the time.
She can get this bomb down if she goes for it right now. The jump shot from the AWP not quite going to connect, so it's all onto GFI. 3 versus 1, makes her way through into Ninja, gets the reload on the AK. No utility to work with, has to hit the shot. Sorry, Ophelia can't do it. It's going to be the first round for Celeste.
And it's about time Celeste get on the board. They do manage to do it. I cannot believe GFI even managed to get that plant down with the final second remaining. But Celeste will finally notch themselves a win on the board, saving the double ops. They have an AK. They can finally start to string a few rounds together.
The issue here for Celeste is how much economy the Orange.Sphynx have built. You can see so much cash left in the bank. They have no concerns. Instantly full reinvestment. No messing about. They're going to look to correct that mistake as quickly as it was found out. The double AWP setup is saved for the CT side. They have a little bit of potential here.
That they do. Looks like the movement going to be in one direction and one direction only, over towards long. Not a lot of hesitation, but that's a pretty big fan out for Celeste here. In fact, they put Valenciable right in front, and 3v waiting to peek around this side. Who's going to go for it first?
This is all about the timing. Afrelin on the AWP, scoped up on the angle. If the double peek comes through, there's potential. 3v, though, just going to be left alone, holding that angle nice and passively, not giving any information away to the CT side. If Jasmine isn't peaked, she's in trouble. Everybody just taking a breath. The shoulder peek's coming through. They need a flash or something to force Afrelin off of this position.
Looks like GFI starts to work her way back through tunnels instead. It's all about information gathering now. The bomb hangs so far back on long, over by the doors. Nobody wants to make the first move. We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned standoff.
3v's thinking about it. She keeps switching out to the nade, to her knife, anything she can get. Desperately trying to find an in, but she's taken down. Afrelin does get the opening pick, falls back to the site. That's the advantage. Iceberg manages to find GFI towards B, and now 3 versus 5. This is looking a little bit awkward for Orange.Sphynx.
Looks like they have managed to make some use of not just the ops, but the rest of their rifles as well. This is going to be a hard take again for Orange.Sphynx. Unsure of which direction to go. It seems like short seems to be their default. Going to be stopped, though, for just a second. The stairs currently on fire from that clutch Molotov.
Finally, Celestè starting to offer up a little bit of a counter here on Dust 2. Argent's trying to make that short peek happen, trying to find the information, but nobody peeking at all from Celestè. 5 versus 3, there's no reason to. And with time running out, they just have to hightail it. Vertigo takes down the first. The trades are coming through, though, and a couple of frags go the way of Orange.Sphynx. So 3 versus 2 now. The AWP of Aphrodite has to come in clutch, but the short plant will keep her at bay for a while. Oriofilia jumping up, finds the tag, but the damage is to be done, and they're going to start to try the push out. Alaska actually catches a timing, but can't find the frag. It's all traded out. Celestè will find their second.
Oh, they had to pay dearly for it to earn that one for real. That jump shot just almost getting enough, and they finally finished the job. 2 rounds in. One more before the half. One more chance. They still retain their double op setup.
Almost the Kukli coming in there. Not quite enough to do it, though. A little bit unfortunate. Keeping the AWP saved, of course, absolutely crucial. The buy's still going to be very strong. Zafralin, we see her picking up the early entry pick. Iceberg straight through the smoke, and it was a really efficiently ran round for Celestè. The first time in a long while we've seen them hitting these kinds of shots. The buy, though, still so strong for Orange.Sphynx. They've got 5 AK-47s, full utility. They can just choose to execute wherever they please.
Well, Celestè, this is the best they can hope for right now, getting that third before the end of the half. And Og on Iceberg, there's a lot of scopes available in this Celestè kit at the moment. 5 AK stack once again for Orange.Sphynx, as they mostly hang out towards tunnels, but taking their time, looking to establish some control through mid doors.
Celestè just looking to use that utility, but the early contact comes through.
Oh, double triple spray! Oh, that's going to do it for Celestè right now. They're feeling themselves at the moment.
GFI desperate to get something done from short, but there really is no presence to work with. The T side of Orange.Sphynx has just in these final few rounds really started to fall apart. Oriofilia still in towards mid with that AWP. A really nice angle. GFI shoulder peeking, not going to find it, and it's all down to Argent. 1 versus 5. There's a tag on Tarathiel, but I don't think that's going to matter. They know exactly where she is. Oriofilia pushing up close, hits the no-scope, and what a way to finish the half. Celestè with the thinnest of recoveries and half a chance going into their T side.
Where was this Celestè in the first 12 rounds? That's what I want to know, and you can tell they're not too worried about it on the Orange.Sphynx side because there'll be a natural break between the two. We're setting a bit of that momentum there. If you are Orange.Sphynx, you're happy about that situation, but man, Celestè, they really light it up in those last 3 rounds.
12-3, Celestè, they do come back, but you've got to wonder, where was that? Where was that potential, those frags, the play in the middle of the half, at the start of the half?
It just took a little while to get going. You know, we saw the same thing happening on Vertigo. It was a little faster than 12 rounds in, but still, it does seem like every time Celestè, they get off to a bit of a slow start.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because in these matchups, you cannot afford to give anything away to your opponents. You can't have those slow starts. Easy free rounds for Orange.Sphynx just equals victories for them.
Yeah, but their economic nightmare at the very least is over right now. Things can reset, but you better believe they've got to win this pistol round.
They have to. This is an essential one. This T-sided pistol, if it goes south, I can't really see a way back into this one for Celestè whatsoever.
All right, do or die time for Celestè from Indonesia, trying to take the win here. Orange.Sphynx, the Malaysian representatives, looking to earn their way to a last matchup, rematch from yesterday against the likes of Phoenix.
Diffuse kit and a smoke for Jasminism, and it looks like it's going to be a B rush early on, at least a contact play coming out from Celestè as all their presence is hidden towards that B-bomb site. Smoking a couple of flashbangs for Tarathiel to try and open things up, but you can see Argent and 3V on that B-bomb site. They're ready to go.
Looking to move down a couple into lower tunnels, see if anyone's hiding out in there. If Orange.Sphynx are going to take an aggressive stance on that defense. GFI the only one doing it. At doors, looking for that peek, the jump from Tarathiel. USPS can't quite find it. And it looks like they're going to be chucking a couple of smokes out. Very big positioning for GFI. She backs up, and up before she gets 1, gets 2, the taps! Ooh. And that's a great trade here for Orange.Sphynx. Not quite enough to stop this complete push, and it's going to be a push onto B for the remaining Ts of Aphrodite and Oriofilia.
The dink onto 3V makes it a 3 versus 2. This bomb's going to go down. Argent currently locked out the site. There is very limited utility left for the CTs to try and get into B here. And the dinks are coming through. Jasminism's down to 2 HP. Oriofilia doing it single-handedly. A triple kill from the site. So let's get the 4th, and the essential rounds are starting to go their way.
Someone get this lady an AWP because she has great shots on the no-scope anyways. This is looking good. Celestè managed to get their way back into it. UMP buys across the board, but an AK for Oriofilia.
And this is where they can start to build that confidence, start to feel their way back into the game. They secure the pistol. The second round is just a formality at this point. No kind of force buy coming out whatsoever from Orange.Sphynx. They are accepting this. They have the default pistols. They have the P250s. One Deagle picked up by GFI to try and do some damage.
So many rounds to work with here. Celeste need to make a miracle run through the second half in order to take out Dust 2 and force an Inferno decider. Control looking to be established around mid. Afrelin and Valenceable guarding around the edge of lower tunnels.
GFI's got a really nice Deagle shot on her, so looking to peek in towards middle, takes the tag, but eventually Ophelia rips her head off, and now they're going to look to split towards the B-bomb site. There's not a lot of firepower here whatsoever. Argent wants to get aggressive with 3v, and that's understandable. Finds the dink, but not the frag, and it's being a mop-up for Celeste. They are going to make their way onto this B-bomb site completely uncontested.
And that is about what you can expect. Good decisive play from Celeste as they start to turn the heat up here. And they'll just be waiting and baiting to see if they can find that last shot onto the last remaining member. Alaska not even going to attempt to get in here through this nest of Ts.
No reason to even try it at this point. Concede the 5th round, get your full buy on the cards, and look to just shut this map out. Get yourselves that swift 2-0 and go and prep for Phoenix in the final that's coming up very soon.
Well, they can't count the chickens before they're hatched there. It looks like Afrelin will find Alaska. And that is going to be it. A 5th round picked up by Celeste, but still Orange.Sphynx threatening. Match will be paused here.
Pause coming in, and the question here for Celeste is, do you try for the bonus round? Do you stick with the UMPs and potentially concede a 13th?
It's such a hard call because of how little wiggle room they have to work with. I feel like you need to get your economy rolling because that was the issue Celeste ran into last time. They just were stuck on a force buys, and I think conceding a 13th is not as bad as eventually conceding it and you have no money.
Yeah, true. And I think they'll probably see the same thing. They don't want to drop all those UMPs down in spawn either way. Want to keep them up, keep as much rolling through as possible.
And I'll bet the speculation here on the side of Orange.Sphynx is, are they going to do exactly that?
They need to try and work it out, but it is going to be a strong full buy across the board for Orange.Sphynx. They have rifles, they have the FAMAS onto 3v, the only real compromise across it. And 4 UMPs staying up. What can the SMGs do for Celeste?
Well, not just one SMG, because they do have Ophelia on an AK, and she's the one stacking the kills. Top fragging, no contest on the Celeste side here, looking to try and carry the banner forward into the next round and keep an eye on where she's at, really just hiding right before right side mid. And this is going to be a very cautious push-up, looking to get mid control for Celeste.
Passive early round from Orange. They don't want to go aggressive. They don't want to give up that entry frag to these SMGs. You can see Alaska in towards the pit. That's a really nice position to try and exploit if there is a long take coming through. And it looks like Ophelia, for the time being, focusing in towards mid, looking for the opening pick, as now she'll start to make her way towards short.
Yeah, GFI's definitely learned her lesson not to push too far deep into mid doors, and seeding the ground sometimes is a good idea. It looks like the short play is going to be the execution. 4 members coming up there. The flashbang through. They're going to pause for just a second. Let's see how well Jasminism can hold this alongside the likes of GFI. The spray is there. Valenceable tagged down to 10. Tarathiel deleted. There's fire on the plant, and this is absolute disaster for the likes of Celeste. It's still a 2v3, but Valenceable is so heavily tagged here.
So much damage to work with for Orange.Sphynx in this 3 versus 2 retake, and really Ophelia has to go absolutely huge here. Trying to push up towards short, trying to be proactive. Finds the first, but Argent's in the angle, and Alaska's taken down her teammate. There we go, Orange.Sphynx. 13-5.
Bet you're glad you hung onto those UMPs now, Celeste. Let's see what the buy comes through. No defuse kit, but they have plenty of time to work with to get rid of it. And that's going to be a 13th round for Orange.Sphynx.
3 rounds away from taking this 2-0, from making their way through to the second final of today.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel like a 2-0 the way it played out on Vertigo.
Such a close matchup for the first one, but Orange.Sphynx, they've just accelerated away here on Dust 2. The buy is going to be incredibly strong for the T side of Celeste. They are going to be able to get the AWP out onto Ophelia. They have the AKs to back it up, but the CT side, their buy isn't half bad either.
No, it's not. They're going to have to put a pretty heavy investment into it, though. The bank is not nearly as sturdy as it was in the first half, but let's see what they can get done here. They have to be careful not to get caught in the sights of Ophelia, and that's going to be that first shot down from the edge. Not going to be nearly enough, though. Bomb not going to get picked up as Ophelia just still sits there in T-spawn. Nobody checking through mid doors.
Again, it looks like they want to take this mid control, Celeste. They have a little bit of presence to work with. Valenceable and Tarathiel are forcing 3v back off of this position. You can see GFI getting a little bit aggressive, being proactive, trying to set herself up with the Kenny S angle now. She only has the M4A4 to work with, but still an absolutely lethal position to find yourself being shot from. And it looks again like Celestè are going to try and exploit short control.
Worked for them last time on the plant, but they have to be careful on that rush just not to get caught up in the meat grinder. Now that they know there's full rifles available on the opposite side of Orange.Sphynx, they cannot afford to lose this one and be down within 2 of losing it all. This is their last chance. They need to force a map 3 in order to get that map 3, in order to get their way to a last chance of qualifying. It's such a long road ahead. The first tap comes through and GFI comes off worse.
Down to 22 HP. Nice spray through the doors from Afrelin, taking the dink, but it was through 2 doors rather than 1, so not too much damage done. And now again, it looks like Celestè, they want to try and exploit a weakness towards short with this utility. You can see there's a pretty strong hold coming in towards the A ramp.
Alaska moves up, and it looks like they trade places. Her and GFI back down onto pit. And in fact, GFI might even be looking for a flank here, but the movement is already happening for Celestè up short. 3 committed.
Their own Molotov is currently stopping them in towards short. Just a missed nade could be the end of them as Alaska, caught with the gun out, will be able to find Vertigo taking her down. And now this is all down to Jasminism. This spray has to be so good. Gets one. Looking for more 2.
Can't quite find it, but GFI comes in just in time. Finally tapped down to Rathiel. Has a chance to plant this bomb, but it's going to be down to her versus Argent.
1 versus 1. 2 seconds. There's no time.
That's it. It's going to go. Orange.Sphynx. We weren't watching the clock, and neither were Celestè. Unfortunately, they can't quite get it done. Tarathiel does manage to save the AWP, but you need to finish it out faster than that.
She tries to swing for that bomb the first time, thinks she's picked it up, makes her way back to the bomb site with enough time, but the bomb is still stuck on the floor, and the economy is absolutely shot for Celestè. The pause has come in, but what more can they do? Orange.Sphynx are 2 rounds away from taking
those little mistakes that can mean all the difference at this stage of the tournament. You have 2 rounds separating Orange.Sphynx from victory and moving on for the final match of the tournament. And Celestè know it. What can they do here? We've seen them force by. We've seen desperation come out. This time it was a self-inflicted error.
Yeah, it was the bomb pickup. There was the Molotov as well, the missed molly from the T side, which actually stopped their own push for so long. It bought so much time for Orange.Sphynx on the rotations and made it look so simple. The buy really isn't great at all. 4 SMGs for the T side of Celestè to try and desperately stop this.
Well, do or die time for real. If Celestè can pull it back, they got to get into close quarters, and it looks like it's going to be a B rush. This is not something they've done very often, and it's only a light commit in the form of Orange.Sphynx. You see Argent, you see 3V grouping up there, using the smoke immediately, and they're just going to look to swarm out onto the B side, but Argent opening up the scope, finds an entry frag onto Valenceable, and everybody in the flash is getting mowed down. Through the meat grinder they go, and it's down to Oreophilia. Orange.Sphynx on match point.
That was just too easy for Orange.Sphynx. The nades weren't coming through for Celestè. There was a lot of self-binds. GFI even had the Swag 7 in it. It's just simple CS going well. They held it down. They weren't blinded. They're just hitting their shots and making it look so easy. This last force buy for Celestè, there's nothing to it. There's 4 UMPs. There's 1 Deagle for Iceberg to desperately try and dismantle what has been an incredibly strong defense from Orange.Sphynx.
Last chance for Celestè. This is their last round of the tournament. If they can't put it together here, Orange.Sphynx, they know it. They're looking ahead to Phoenix. Just after this, the movement comes up. Control into mid, rather. A little bit more of an aggressive push there as they try to look for an entry frag through doors.
Trying to exploit whatever they can in. Nice pot flash through. 3V not going to get the angle for the peak, though, and that's allowing Celestè just to start trying to exploit anything with these SMGs. You can see everybody on Orange.Sphynx is just playing the ranged battle because they know it's only SMGs, it's only pistols. There's nothing that Celestè can really work with at long range here.
Another flash coming through Orange.Sphynx. They just know the time is their friend, the clock. They've just got to run it out. And meanwhile, speaking of running Celestè, they go right up through mid, rushing through, getting an entry frag onto 3V. It's traded back onto Afrelin. And how good is Argent through window, managing to find 1. 3v4. There's a lot of tags to work with as Oreophilia checks for the door. The stutter step, not enough. They'll look for the bomb plant here, but they need to go. They have 55 seconds. And the rest of the CTs are rushing through. 2v3 situation for Orange.Sphynx.
Jasminism and Alaska, and one's been taken down already. It's all on Alaska. She hasn't spotted out the AWP either, and you can see Valenceable knows exactly where she is. Celestè will get a 6th. They are a little bit closer.
And they have some better weapons, managing to salvage an AWP and an M4A4 on Oreophilia. Celestè, they survive by the skin of their teeth.
3V's had enough. The rest of her team look to half-buy. She has instantly bought and brought Jasminism with her. She wants this game over. She wants to face Phoenix in the final later today. Half-buy for GFI, down to about 2.5K with the Deagle. Same can be said of Argent, and Alaska has nothing.
But it's a much better buy situation for Celeste here. They may not have the rounds, but they certainly have the money to work with. Oriophilia opening up on the scope, not finding a shot to take through the smoke. And now it's a split movement. Bomb heads up. Looks like going to go through Cat. Pretty aggressive defense here for GFI. Hunting on the Deagle. If she finds that entry frag, it's huge, but she pushes way too far forward. The trade comes through. Celeste have the numbers advantage. GFI and Jasminism both down.
Lack of firepower as well now for the CT side. 3V just with that M4. The rest of her teammates are on a default pistol and a Deagle respectively. Really going to struggle to get anything done here. 4 versus 3. And the Bomb just looking to take advantage of the ranged engagement. Argent with the Deagle, desperate to get something done towards middle, but the nades are just chipping away at her.
Celeste know that they can push through this one. They're just not going to take any chances here. Controlling at mid doors, now moving back over to tunnels. This is going to be a chance. Maybe 3V can find something here as she sat behind B car. The push up into the smoke, into the site. They think they're alone on this one. Here comes Iceberg. 3V, how well can he clutch this out? The spray, not enough! And it's going to be a plant.
Argent finds one with the Deagle, so at the very least a rifle recoverable, but I think Argent is done with this round, and indeed so is Alaska, trying to keep their hands on a couple of rifles. They know they only need one round. Why throw it away here? Why not just keep the AK-47, build into the next one, build the rest of your half up, and then just take that one round you need?
Yeah. It seems like for Orange.Sphynx, they know that Celeste is prolonging the inevitable. Again, the miracle run they would need to force an overtime. Well, this is going to be a 7th, but then they'd have to stack so many more.
They need so much, and there is so little time for them to find anything here. Saving a couple of an SMG and a rifle is an ideal circumstance as well for Orange.Sphynx. They're going to have such a strong buy into the next round. It's 15-7, the scoreline. Up for Oriophilia. Couple of rifles saved as well. Celeste, they're starting to build up a bit of bank.
Momentum is on their side, and so is the economy for a change. Never count Celeste out until the final minute. And it looks like the buy will come in once more for Orange.Sphynx. Not a full investment. They still don't have all of the money to work with, but they can at least afford to get a few more rifles this time around.
Should be able to get a buy out of the cards here, and indeed with the saved SMG and saved rifle, they will be able to get it. Argent on the full utility, and of course for Orange.Sphynx, they know they only need one round. It's one mistake that's needed from Celeste, and it is all over here, and it looks like there's going to be a big gunfight out towards long early on. Oriophilia on the AWP. The early flashes come through from the CT side, but the AWP has got an unobstructed view, can't quite hit the shot, tries to make her way out the doors, and Alaska takes her down. This is not looking good. GFI going for the peak, taken down through the edge of the smoke, and they know where Alaska is, in towards that pit.
This is a chance right now, and it looks like that's going to be enough for Celeste to start moving their way in, but they still have to contend with the remaining 2 members. 3V and Argent here looking to try and prevent a take on A. The bomb was not picked up in this one, so there's enough time to regroup.
And the team kill could make this viable for the CT side of Orange.Sphynx. They're trying to cover the cross. That smoke, tiniest of gaps. It's going to be very difficult to react in that situation for 3V. A little bit of tag damage onto Iceberg through the smoke as Aphrodin, she's going to transfer the bomb across. 3 versus 2. The bomb goes down. Can Orange.Sphynx pull this off?
You're looking for the retake scenario here, backing away slowly. You can see the cogs working, decision-making. Do you save the rifles yet again? It looks like that is going to be the option. Very tense here.
Just
on match point, on map point.
Just going to keep their hands on 2 rifles. There's not a lot of cash at all for this CT side. They know that the more they can save, the better. It's still Celeste, they're starting to make this feel a little bit more doable.
Yeah, building up on the momentum. We were asking several rounds ago if maybe that was the strain finally showing, but Celeste, indomitable, still surviving, and they will make it 8-15. They are not done with Dust 2 just yet.
They are not done with this series just yet. Couple of players kept alive, but you can see the cash really isn't there for Orange.Sphynx whatsoever. They're going to be in a really awkward situation. Half buys, the pause comes in, and they've got to be wondering why they haven't finished this game yet.
Yeah, I think for some it might feel like they're already looking ahead to Phoenix, but you got to put it away. You've got to get that final nail in the coffin, and there will be a little bit of discussion coming out from the coach, the team. Still business faces right now, but they do have a game plan.
How do we finish it off? How do we get this over and done with here? They have so many rounds to play with Orange.Sphynx. They can just try and just play it to perfection. They know they've got so many rounds to make it happen. They can save and save and save and then buy everything.
Yeah, it's like an old school video game. You can just restart every single time you lose. All you got to do is beat that boss once. Final boss waiting for them in the finals, of course, would be Phoenix, who took them down yesterday. They'll be looking ahead to revenge, but they've got to get that last round against Celeste first.
Couple of pistols to support those 2 saved rifles once again for Orange.Sphynx. And they are going to drop the smoke towards middle early on, just obscure Ophelia's vision. Not going to tag anyone on the cross either, so they've managed to get a decent stack towards both bomb sites.
Celeste go ahead and put 3 into lower tunnels. But it looks like Orange.Sphynx are thinking this is going to be a B play. They've put a lot of players in that direction and just trusting GFI to hold in the area of A.
Just on the USPS as well. This is a big
that's a bold call.
Big call from the CT side. Clearly trusting their feel of this round. And at the moment, Celeste just nervously prodding around mid.
Hoping they can get a peek through the doors. Afrelin sitting there right on the front with that AK. And it looks like the commitment will be towards short. GFI has to be so careful as she peeks. She's lit, but not taken down there. The turnaround, Afrelin manages to finish it, and that's going to hit the go switch here for the CTs to try and turn around. There is a trade back. Valenceable already taken down, and the rest of the CTs, they are going to be rushing up, hopping back on Xbox and looking to try and retake this. The bomb will go down for Celeste.
Afrelin in a really awkward spot here. She has to find multiple kills. She gets the first, and Argent swings for the trade. We'll be able to find it. There's a couple of rifles recovered, and you can see Ophelia has no idea about Jasminism on this flank. If she hits the headshot, this is going to be very rough. Tavza will find it. Tarithiel manages to get the trade, but 2 versus 2, and there's rifle on both of the remaining players for Orange.Sphynx.
There's a potential to retake this one, and it could be all over. Iceberg eliminated. Tarithiel has to hold the line. This is it, going for Alaska, gets the one, up the top, it's over! Orange.Sphynx are going to the finals!
And what a performance, 16-8, Orange.Sphynx take the victory. They take Dust 2 in even more convincing fashion than day 1.
Yes, they do, but they had to fight it out. It looked like it was going to be an almost flawless halftime, but they can breathe a big sigh of relief as they've earned their way to the final showdown, a rematch from yesterday, looking for revenge and a spot at DreamHack Valencia.
What a performance on that second map. We did have some concerns about Orange.Sphynx. It looked a little bit awkward on Vertigo. It went to that double OT. They made a bit of a meal of it, but much, much simpler on Dust 2.
Oh, yes, indeed. And at the end of the day, some smiles on the faces of Orange.Sphynx. It looked tense. It looked tough. But that map score on Dust 2 says otherwise. They'll go shake hands.
They know they pulled off something a little bit special there. They really bit back after an incredibly tense first map, and now they've put themselves a place in the finals. There's opportunity here for Orange.Sphynx.
There absolutely is. Orange.Sphynx, man, what a powerhouse squad. But Celeste, hey, let's give it up for them because they kept it close. The map score might not have indicated it on Dust 2, but you can never give this team Vertigo. That's for darn sure.
It was quite some performance on Vertigo, taking it to the double OT against one of the strongest teams in this tournament currently. Orange.Sphynx really struggled to unlock Celeste on that map, and commiserations to them. It was a solid performance.
Yeah, yet another 0-2, but I honestly don't think that tells the story of how close this one was. Dust 2, it was such a story that went down. It looked like it was going to end in tragedy, but there was hope as well. Let's take a look at our final scores. Argent will be our MVP with 24 kills and a KD of 2.67.
That is just absolutely ridiculous. 24-9. That is stats you can't argue with. Of course, Dust 2 being a one-sided affair always inflates them slightly, but you look at that's not too bad.
Ophelia saved the day more times than I can count for this team.
That is a seriously impressive statistic considering how far they lost by. Ophelia being able to put up those kind of results is just a show for how talented that player is.
I think looking at those pistol plays, even in that round, that's really what started to turn things in their favor, and there was a real chance for a while for Celeste to get back into this. Here were their stats across the board. Ophelia, the only one to break 20. However, there were still some pretty solid plays across the board for everybody. Iceberg a little bit lagging there at the end.
Iceberg just struggling to find her footing in that second map, really struggling to get anything going. It was a solid team performance besides a couple of mistakes and really just letting Dust 2 run away from them. You saw the constant force buys and you think that was just the tilt.
I think it was. You know, we talk about this team usually being immune to it, but it really came down to the wire, and they definitely cracked a bit under the pressure. But a team that didn't, it is, of course, Orange.Sphynx Argent leading the charge, but GFI definitely not too far behind. Alaska and Jasmine, some respectable scores, 3v. She did her job as well.
And we always find ourselves talking about GFI. She's always in this. She's always providing that play, that clutch, and just really pushing her team through to victories.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of that on the flank certainly helped seal the deal for them, but I really want to give Argent a lot of credit, not just because she's the MVP, but she also had those entry frags. You saw the score of 5. She was holding the line on the CT side incredibly well. It's so hard to break through the way Argent plays. It is just so much accuracy.
Yeah, and multi-kills were her speciality. So many spray downs, so many just flicks to different players. Incredibly impressive CS from her, and congratulations to Orange.Sphynx, who are going to make their way through.
I'm looking forward to seeing this rematch right now. You have to think it was such a tilter for Orange.Sphynx because they went up 1. We're going to take a look at that interview after this match.
我在这之前，我们也先来做一个简单的采访。我们这里也请 Ramona 来回答一下。首先想要知道，就是他们其实在第一天的比赛的时候已经碰过 Celestè， 当时 BP 地图也是一模一样的，是否两边都是为了这两张图做了很完全的一个准备 ？So congratulations once
Thank
again.
you.
First question. This is the second time you're playing against Celestè, and on day one, you guys had the exact same ban picks. Can you maybe walk us through what it's like to play against them again?
Basically, our Vertigo was a little bit hard this time, but we were pretty confident when we picked the same map picks because we kind of like reset some stuff and study their games, and we thought that we're more prepared to play the maps that we played on the first day if we could have gotten that, which we did. So.
也是说到这次他打 Vertigo 的时候，的确比上次还要焦灼。不过他们也觉得，就是这次他们提前有做了很多的准备，也是修正了很多小细节的问题，然后解决之后拿下比赛。那第二个想要问的就是，同样，等一下下一场比赛 ，Phoenix 也是他们昨天打过的一个队伍，甚至是昨天是输给了对方。那他们现在是否已经做好万全的准备 ？So second question, next match you'll be playing against Phoenix for the last spot.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
OK. 那我们采访也到这里结束了，我们期待最后一个名额的争夺战。我们休息一下，待会儿再见。